is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
Back at Miller Park, we're getting ready for baseball. The final home series of the regular season, the start of a 3-game set between your Milwaukee Brewers and the Cincinnati Reds, continuing a National League Central showdown. Final homestand of the season. The Brewers are coming off of a tough 4-game series against the Cubs, but at home they've been very good, a 44-37 record, and they've been even better against the Reds here this season. 5-1, looking to continue that success here at home here tonight. Good evening, everyone. Sophia Minert here at Miller Park, and the Brewers players felt that they gave everything that they had in that 4-game series against the Chicago Cubs, dropping 3 out of 4, but they know that there is still a lot to be played for in these final 6 games. They're sitting just 1.5 games back in the second wild card spot, and here's the teams that they're chasing. The Colorado Rockies have the current spot in that second wild card. They have 2 games left against Miami and then a weekend series against the Dodgers. The Brewers, the hottest team of that bunch. They've got a 7-5 record over their last 12 games, and they have an opportunity to knock out the St. Louis Cardinals in the final series over the weekend at Busch Stadium. So certainly with 6 games left here in the season, there is a lot for the Brewers to play for. The 2008 team was able to overcome the same outcome, 1.5 games back with 6 left to play. So as we go up to our game announcers, Brian Anderson and Bill Schroeder, Craig Counsell says throughout all of the season, when we've had a good week as the Milwaukee Brewers, he said, I've had to use a lot of names and use a lot of guys. And he says if at the end of this, we've had another good week, it's because we're going to get contributions from multiple players. That starts here with their final 3 games at Miller Park against the Cincinnati Reds.
Yes, it does. And you're talking about a week, and now you're talking about the last week. So there's a big difference, Rock, between wanting to win and needing to win. And now the Brewers are in that position where they need to win, and they're going to need some help. But they've got an opponent here in the Cincinnati Reds that can present some challenges.
Yeah, and how to win. I mean, you have to swing the bats against the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds' starting rotation has been abominable this year, so the Brewers need to come out and they need to swing the bats extremely well. Do what they did not do back in Cincinnati when the Cincinnati Reds swept the Brewers in the beginning of September, but you can see what they're playing for. You can't imagine these guys have any pressure on. I mean, every single day it seems as though they're trying to bounce back from a tough loss. What they need to do here, get out in front early against the Cincinnati Reds ball club. They can hit, as we mentioned, but when you trail the Cincinnati Reds late in the game, you have troubles. You got Raisel Iglesias, young right-handed pitcher that he has 27 saves. So these guys need to get on the board early tonight.
Looks like they're loose. Looks like they're ready to go. We enter the final week of the year. 6 games remain in the regular season. Zach Davies is on the mound tonight. We'll set up the pitching matchup right after this. Zach Davies. Now, not the major league leader in victories. He'd like to get one to join that group once again. He's currently tied for third. Deck McGuire is on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. This is a new name to the mix tonight. He is making his first ever major league start. 28-year-old right-hander has been down in Double-A. Cubs are gone. Brewers drop 3 out of 4. Reds are here. 3-game series with Cincinnati. Lineups, first pitch coming your way. Oldest cliche in the book. The Brewers have certainly been on the cruel side of those game-defining measurements. But right below those final lines, there are some new calculations being made. The hammer of hope in Milwaukee is banging louder. Braun sending one out there to that area, and that is gonna go. That's a home run. A punch out to end it. Knebel strikes out the side, and louder. 2-2. Thames, base hit. Santana scores. Eric Thames delivers. Folks, sends one deep to right. Call it, Matty.
Get going. Touch your ball.
Transition now. Phillips.
Back to back. Yeah.
The rookie Phillips and louder.
Arcia with a ball into the corner. And that one is gone! Shaw with a big drive out to the opposite field. That one at the fence and gone! And Milwaukee has walked it off! Son, come on in!
A new building is taking shape. Game by game. Inch by inch. Measure up. It's a new day in the construction zone. Please forgive the noise. Six days remain in the regular season. What's it going to be? Are the Brewers going to make it? Right now, one game back in the loss column to the Colorado Rockies. They're going to give the ball to Zach Davies tonight to start the series. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Opening the roof as we speak. The rain showers came through. It dampened down a little bit of the tailgating outside, but as this crowd files in, 71 degrees. Looks like the heat wave is over, partner. Now starting to feel like fall baseball.
I'm telling you, that tease, you just came back from break. I mean, if I could do them, I'd do some one-arm push-ups after that.
Nice.
Not capable, but yeah, that gets your blood boiling. And it's a big series here against the Reds, and Brewers right in the thick of that wild card chase. Good stuff here at Miller Park.
Brian Price got an extension for next year to manage the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds come in 66-90 on the year as Potawatomi batting order has Billy Hamilton leading off, then Cozart, followed by Votto, an MVP candidate. Jeanette, Suarez, and Schebler, with Duvall, Barnhart, and McGuire rounding it out. First ball swinging is Hamilton, and that one is foul. And off we go here at Miller Park. Zach Davies, Rock, on the mound. He is a 17-game winner, ERA of 3.84 on the season.
Yeah, this is his third attempt at his 18th victory. 17-9, very good 384 earned run average. Last time out against the Cubs, very good, 7 innings, 2 runs, and a no decision.
There's a bunt. Vogt fumbles with it. Now the throw is not in time, and Hamilton reaches.
Yeah, you can't make any mistakes with that guy running down the line. Yeah, he gets it the first time. He's got the out, but right out of the gate, Stephen Vogt has to pop out from behind home plate. If he gets it right there, he's got the out, but nothing doing.
And clearly safe. You might remember that Billy Hamilton, trying to bunt in early September against the Brewers, had a thumb injury, had a fracture in the thumb, and he's actually been able to come back and play over the last week. Many thought he was done for the year. Cozart on the first pitch, skies one out. Neil Walker is under it, and there is the first out of the ball game for Zach Davies. By the way, they're going to score that as an E2 to allow Hamilton to reach.
Yep, it was a bobble. If he gets it the first time, he's got Hamilton easily at first base.
The Reds have a lot of areas where they will challenge the Brewers. We saw that in early September in that 3-game sweep. And I would venture to say, Rock, ever since that 3-game sweep at the hands of Cincinnati, that was September 4th, 5th, and 6th, the Brewers have essentially been playing playoff games since that point.
Yeah, playing very good baseball and doing everything well, including defense. I mean, throughout the season up until September, defense had been kind of shoddy, but since that time, they have been minimizing the mistakes. Pitching has been tremendous, and that's what really has carried the Brewers in this spot.
Thames gobbles that up. He's going to go to first to get Votto. Thought about second. With Hamilton running, he'll take the sure out. And Joey Votto is quickly retired on a hot ground ball to first base.
Yeah, let's check out that Brewers defense brought to you by Menards tonight. You got Ron Phillips, Santana in the outfield. Yeah, Phillips getting another start. Right-handed pitcher out there. He's been good on both in the outfield and at the plate. Shaw, Arcia, Walker, Thames from third to first, and Stephen Vogt has been catching just about every game. Manny Pena still banged up. He's got a thumb problem.
Well, Brett Phillips gets another start in center field. He has become a big part of the rotation, the platoon for the Brewers right now. With a right-hander on the mound, he is the left-handed version of that platoon, he and Keon Broxton. Here's Scooter Gennett. What a year he has had. Boy, this is going to be one of those years if Gennett goes on and plays, you know, 5, 7, 10 more years in the big leagues. He is always going to look back to 2017 as a crossroads.
Yeah, it really wasn't in the plans for Milwaukee. The Brewers figuring that Jonathan Villar is going to be their guy. Who would have thought that Gennett would put up this kind of year? 94 RBIs, 27 homers, and yeah, right now he's a cleanup hitter for Cincinnati.
Oh, and revisionist history would ask the question, why do you give up on a guy like Scooter Gennett? And let's face it, he probably wouldn't have gotten the opportunity in Milwaukee to play every day. He was basically a platoon player that they were actually, remember, using in the outfield in spring training. And with so many middle infielders, the year that Jonathan Villar had last year, they had to make a decision coming out of spring training with Scooter Gennett, and he ends up being claimed by the Cincinnati Reds once he was put on waivers by the Brewers, and he has turned it around. It was a little bit of a wake-up call for him, he would admit. And the fact that it was the Reds who snatched him up, and the fact he could go home, a place where he's very familiar. He grew up in Cincinnati, and more than anything else, he got the opportunity to play, and he made the most of it. Got to give him a lot of credit. Not too different from the track that Brandon Phillips went on either. Jeanette skies that one into center field. Phillips is there, and Davies works around a leadoff error and a scoreless first inning against the Redlegs. Brewers coming to bat for the first time. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. By Hupy and Abraham, voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Crowd still filing in on a Tuesday night. Brewers have 6 straight games to the end of the season. Take a look at the Potawatomi batting order for the Brew Crew, with Thames, Walker, and Braun leading off. Shaw, Santana, and Vogt make up the middle of Council's order. Then it's Arcia, Phillips, and Davies. And that's the lineup that is going to face a former first-round draft pick, making his very first major league start 7 years after he was drafted by the Blue Jays. Deck McGuire out of Georgia Tech will get his first big league start. Rocky's been pitching out of the bullpen recently for the Reds.
Yeah, 4 appearances out of the bullpen, has not allowed a run. He's 6'6", big guy, 225 pounds. Yeah, worked all year in Double-A, where he was 9-9, a 279 earned run average. You know, throughout his minor league career, he just could not figure out how to throw strikes. He has done that this year. He's a big-time strikeout guy down in the minors, 170 punch-outs, 168 innings.
Reds are his 5th organization. Had a $2 million signing bonus with the Blue Jays as a first-rounder out of Georgia Tech. Been with the Blue Jays, the A's, Dodgers, Cardinals, and now Cincinnati. And he still has a very live arm, live fastball.
And not much of an off-speed pitch, though. I mean, everything hard out of his hand, a fastball, a slider.
3-2 to Thames, and he sends one to deep right center field. That is back there, and it is down. A base hit, 1 hop out of here. Ground rule double by Eric Thames.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about when we came on the air tonight, get on these guys early. They're out of the race. You got a young pitcher, jump on them early, because it's difficult to come from behind against these guys. Once they have the lead late, fastball down the middle, and Thames able to hit it hard. Didn't barrel it up. And not a very good route by Schebler going after that one. Probably should have been caught, but it's going to go down as a double.
Now Thames in the leadoff spot again here tonight. Opens up with an extra base hit, and the Brewers in business right out of the gates. Thames continues to hit Reds pitching well. Now up to a .346 batting average against Cincinnati. And here's Neil Walker now hitting second, the switch hitter. Brewers have 4 lefties in the lineup, and the switch hitter Walker. So 5 of the 9 in the batting order will bat off the left side against the right-hander. Just watching the Brewers' demeanor on the field today, batting practice, and before the game, Sophia reported on this during our Brewers Live pregame show. Rock, it seems that the Brewers are back into a normal routine. I mean, there's anxiety and a little intensity to the game and what it matters and what it means today, but I think the Brewers are operating pretty standard. I think for Craig Counsell, the goal was to try to make this as normal as it can be, and you're going to have to make it that way if you make it into the postseason anyway. You go through your routine and settle into what you normally do, but the games have huge importance right now.
That doesn't seem to really bother these guys too much. They are who they are. They have a good time, on the field, regardless if it's April or an pennant push, or in this case a wild card push at the end of September. These guys are loose. They're having fun. They're really playing on house money. Nobody figured they're going to be here. None of the pressure is on this Brewers club. Pressure is on Colorado and St. Louis.
Colorado had a big lead as Walker draws the walk. Rockies have lost 8 of their last 12 games. They have really fallen on hard times to allow the Brewers back in this mix. Let's check out the Cincinnati defense as Ryan Braun strides to the plate. It is courtesy of Menards.
Yeah, one of the best defenses in all the big leagues. Second best in the National League. Only the Miami Marlins are better. And we're going to highlight Duvall and Hamilton. They lead the National League in outfield assists. Duvall with 15 of them. And Billy Hamilton has thrown out 12 guys on the bases. So be careful taking extra bases against those guys.
Here's Ryan Braun, 2 on to start the inning for the Brewers in the first. And a big bender is in there for a strike.
That's that breaking pitch I was talking about. Not a whole lot. He doesn't really have the big curveball. He'll throw it once in a while, but no changeup to speak of. He'll try it, but it's basically a fastball slider.
Thames at second with a double. Walker at first with a walk. And Deck McGuire deals to Braun, who fouls it away. We're going to be tracking other games tonight. The Cubs are in St. Louis with a chance to clinch the division tonight. A Cubs win would clinch the division. If the Cardinals beat the Cubs tonight and the Brewers lose, Chicago will also clinch a Central Division title. Meanwhile, in Colorado, it'll be the Marlins and the Rockies. That'll start approximately 7:40 p.m. Central. And so once that one is underway, we'll be tracking it for you as long as we're here. Good breaking ball, strikes out Ryan Braun.
Yeah, that's more of a curveball than a slider. Well, there it is. Yep, a curveball. I got some bad info from my buddies next door. I'm gonna have to go over there and talk to the Cowboy.
I don't know. I talked to the guys next door and I said, what do you got on Deck McGuire? I said, no idea.
He said a lot of hard stuff, but that was a pretty good curveball that he got Braun.
Well, he is an interesting story. He's 28 years of age, spending the year in Double-A. Had a good year in Double-A. Pensacola is the Double-A location for the Cincinnati Reds. One of the more scenic minor league settings right there on the ocean, right on the Gulf. And so he had a good year there. That is considered a pitcher's league. McGuire with a 9-9 record, but a .279 earned run average at the Double-A level this year. So there will be a feeling out process, I'm sure, as much as the Brewers would love to get on this inexperienced pitcher. Still have to see it for yourself. Travis Shaw with 1 out, runners at first and second. Shaw sitting on 99 RBIs. Only win of the Cup Series came on a Travis Shaw 2-run walk-off home run on Saturday afternoon. That was his 31st homer of the year. And now 99 runs batted in. OPS for Shaw at 870. And a wave and a miss. And Travis Shaw is out.
Took a little off that one too. Looked like a changeup. So I take back what I said before. I mean, he's thrown a couple of good breaking pitches. I mean, he's thrown a couple of curveballs. He got Braun on one and just got Shaw on a changeup off the plate. There it is. Maybe trying to do a few things differently as a starter. You work out of the bullpen. You just come in there and just start throwing hard.
Fastball slider. That makes sense.
Working the off-speed stuff early on.
So now 2 men are out. Here is Domingo Santana. Santana with 2 hits on the homestand, one of those a homer. Brewers dropping 3 out of 4 against the Chicago Cubs. And that one right by Santana. 1 ball, 1 strike. None of these Brewers have seen McGuire. This is his first start in the big leagues, and even though he's had 4 relief appearances, none of those came against the Brewers. He was up after that series. Brewers last saw the Reds in early September. Santana continues his career year. 28 homers, 80 runs batted in, both career highs for him. And he has shown a good eye all year. His on-base percentage is at .370. Santana's OPS just shy of 870. It's at 868 right now.
And he has put himself into some pretty good hitting counts this year. I mean, with that good, that patient approach at the plate, very disciplined.
Trying to pick up a couple of runs. Brewers had 2 on, nobody out. Now 2 on, 2 out. Santana fouls it back. 3-2 now. Brewers got shut out on Sunday. That was a 5-0 shutout win. Jose Quintana went the distance against Milwaukee. Struck out 10 batters. Only gave up 3 hits. Hard fought series. And the Brewers dropping 3 of 4, but the first 3 could have swung either way at any moment. Brewers felt like they could have certainly won 2, maybe 3 of those 4 games. But Jose Quintana did a number on the crew on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, 3 of the best games that maybe that we've seen all year. I mean, in a row. Tremendous work by the crew, just not able to get on top. 2 of the 3.
All 3 extra inning games. And the Brewers had 4 consecutive games going back to the last game in Pittsburgh that were decided in the last at bat. Unfortunately, they had lost 3 in a row until they won in their final at bat on Saturday. But the Rockies have been struggling as well, and that has kept the Brewers in the picture in this wild card mix. Runners go. Santana launches one way back. Goodbye. 3-run shot. Domingo Santana.
Boy, they needed that. They didn't want to let that kid get off the hook.
Sometimes there are game-changing moments in the first inning.
Right.
And after being shut out on Sunday, staring at a potential wasted inning, Santana comes up with a bomb.
Yep, on a full count, 3-2 pitch. A no-doubter to left.
And a sigh of relief early for the Brewers. Now it is Stephen Vogt at the plate. Santana's knocking at the door at 30 now. That's number 29 for him. Now 83 runs batted in for Domingo.
Yep, on a hanging slider right down the middle of the plate. On a full count. Check it out. Yep, a hanger. 84, and Santana did not miss it. That's a big home run.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about when we came on the air, get on top of these guys early. Just get some runs, get the offense going, because they are a difficult bunch to come back from. They get a lead late, they're tough to beat.
2-0 to Vogt takes a ball high. 3 balls, no strikes to count.
Yeah, that and the fact that they did not score a run on Sunday. So you get on the board and you get some good feelings going.
Loosen up that belt a little bit. Vogt takes a strike. Santana, start to finish. Santana and Travis Shaw have been the 2 most consistent hitters the Brewers have had all year. Another one's in there. 3-2 the count.
And Santana's been able to stay healthy all year. Was not able to do that last year. And he's been able to put up the numbers.
Vogt hits one sharply through, and a base hit into the right center field gap. He's going to test the arm. Hamilton's throw comes in. It's cut off, and Vogt is in with a double. That ball had the sound to it. He hit that right on the screws.
Yes, he did. A full count, this time a fastball, and Vogt squares it up. Up out over the plate, hits it a ton. A bullet rolls all the way out there into the gap, and Vogt, the catcher, able to hustle his way to second base. There you go.
Two-out double for Stephen Vogt. Quick visit to the mound.
And what a difference, huh? This kid gets out of this inning with, no runs on the board. He gave up a double and a walk. But Santana turned it around on him.
You hear Craig Counsell talk about his pitching staff a lot, talking about run prevention unit. In this case, tables are turned. It's more like the confidence prevention unit.
Yeah.
You don't want this pitcher to get the feeling that he can get through this game. You want him rattled. It's all a mystery right now, as it is for every young player who comes to the big leagues.
Yep, eyes wide open, taking a sign. You can see that early in this inning. Hardly blinking.
Orlando Arcia here with a runner at second base, and a wave and a miss. There's that breaking ball by McGuire. Arcia delivered a big home run Saturday, had the game tying home run. Brewers had the rare double comeback on Saturday against the Cubs. Arcia's 9th inning blast, first blown save for Wade Davis all year, and then Shaw's walk-off homer against Davis. Arcia hits it sharply into the gap in left center. Vogt will score, and Arcia with an RBI single makes it 4-0 Milwaukee.
I mean, not fooling anybody with that fastball. Arcia taking a fastball in on him. Watch the way he pulls the hands in here. Pulls the hands in, and look at that belt buckle facing the pitcher. That's just a perfect swing. Foot down before he starts to swing. A rocket out there into the gap. Only 4 2-out runs here in the first.
On 3 consecutive 2-out hits. And it's going to be Brett Phillips, the 8th place hitter, with a 4-0 Brewer lead. And Phillips takes a ball down and in. Phillips has had a terrific homestand, and his good hitting started in Pittsburgh, which earned him more spots in the lineup, more regular opportunities, and he's carried it on to this homestand. Against the Cubs, Phillips was 5 for 10 at the plate, including a home run. Phillips has big power. Hit 19 home runs at AAA Colorado Springs this year.
Doing a lot of things right, up here in September.
I was talking to Ryan Braun about Phillips earlier today. He was raving about Brett Phillips, and not just his talent, but his attitude, his personality. He's come to the big leagues. He understands he's a rookie. He's accepted his place in the hierarchy of the big league clubhouse, I guess is the best way to put it. And he's enjoyed it. He's embraced it. Fun-loving personality, shows up every day with a smile on his face. And you get the feeling it's not just because he's a rookie in the big leagues. You get the feeling it's more of a personality trait for Brett Phillips.
Brings energy every day, really does.
Got a chance to be a very good big league player, and he's already proving he has value this season in a pennant race.
Yeah, and playing a lot more than he ever imagined.
He came to town, thought it might be just a defensive replacement, maybe an occasional pinch hit appearance. But no, he's worked himself into that left-right platoon with Keon Broxton. And what that means with so many right-handed starters on the mound, Phillips is getting a good chunk of the playing time.
Yes, he is taking advantage of it.
I love that shot right there of Keon Broxton. He knows he's in this platoon. He'd love to be out there every day, but he's in it. He's cheering on his teammates on that top rail. Phillips takes a called strike 3, and the inning is over. But what an inning it was. You talk about putting the pressure on the Rockies. Post a 4 spot in the first inning before their game even starts. Domingo Santana, 3-run home run, 3 straight 2-out hits. Santana's homer sends Bernie with a quick trip down the slide. But keep him right there.
It's good luck. He was up there with a home run.
That's a 4 spot in the first inning with whatever that is in the dugout. That's in the Brewers dugout, by the way. Santana with the 3-run homer. 4 runs are in the first inning. And the Brewers have a big lead early for one of their best pitchers, Zach Davies, who now goes to work in the second inning. Eugenio Suarez leads off. He'll be followed by Schebler and then Adam Duvall. Can't sleep on this Reds lineup. And they're in last place in the division, and they've lost 90 games. But that is not because of their offense.
Yeah.
They can bang with the best of them.
And they hit a lot of homers. And the bullpen isn't too bad either. It's just that starting rotation has been the problem for them all year.
Worst earned run average in the National League. The Reds 5.63 is their team ERA. And Suarez lays off a curveball.
If that bullpen looked crowded out there, it is. They've got 15 relievers available tonight.
Brian Price and Jim Riggleman as bench coach. Plenty of options. And we'll probably see them all by series end. got to put yourself in the Reds' perspective, and they're trying to evaluate players, gauge who is going to be a part of their mix for next year. And they've got a lot of guys that want to prove they belong in the big leagues and belong on a major league roster next season. Suarez flies to right. That's going to slice into the seats.
And the Brewers know as well as anybody. I mean, teams that are in that kind of mode, and guys, young guys in particular, trying to impress. Sometimes late in the season, when you have big games to play, they could be the toughest opponents.
Brewers were just in that position the last couple of seasons. They know, their players understand what September baseball is like for a lot of these newcomers. 3-2 is just fouled off. Davies allowed a base runner on an error in the first inning. It was an error by the catcher Vogt. Retired the next three, Cozart, Votto, and Jeanette. And his ball club gets him 4 in the bottom of the first. 3-2 pitch hit him, drilled him
Right in the rib cage.
Oh,
That sounded like it hurt.
so Suarez is hit on a 3-2 offering. Head athletic trainer Steve Bauman is out to check on him along with Brian Price.
Yeah, that two-seam fastball just kept boring in on Suarez, and I think it surprised him that it came inside so much. Just keep going further and further in, and oh man, right in the chest.
Just waiting for the pain. It's an unusual reaction there.
It's an unusual
From
place to
Suarez.
get hit too.
Yeah.
Right square in the chest, right on the end there. Yeah, the eye in the end, and that's something you don't see much.
Well, listen, the Brewers had a minor league player that got hit in the chest while at the plate, and he went into cardiac arrest. I mean, it's an ongoing story. This young kid who's been transferred now to Venezuela, and we're praying for and keeping our eyes on to see how he recovers. But it's a very scary thing to be up there and open up like he did, like Suarez did. He's very fortunate that there wasn't more significant injury. So he's on with a hit by pitch. Here is Scott Schebler now, power hitting right fielder. And Davies deals strike one.
Yeah, the Reds have 6 players with 20 or more home runs, and 2 of those guys have over 30. These guys are they can swing the bats, and they're really never out of it.
Got some guys knocking at the door at 30 as well. Schebler's one of them. He's at 29. Scooter Jeanette's 3 home runs away from 30 with 6 games to play. Scooter hit 4 in 1 game earlier this year.
Should be an interesting series. The Brewers now lead the National League in homers. Reds aren't too far behind.
That one's in there. 1-2 the count. Yeah, Jeanette got a chance at 30. Eugenio Suarez a chance at 30. Joey Votto and Adam Duvall are already there. 1-2 the count. Down in the dirt. Good block back there by Vogt. Brewers are 12 home runs away from tying a franchise record. Let's see if my math is correct. That is 2 a game on average for the last 6 games,
Not including the one in the first inning.
right? From now on,
So 2 more tonight. That'd be good.
not counting the first inning. High fly ball to right. Schebler is going to watch this one fly. Here they come. This club can swing it. Just like that, they cut the deficit in half. Scott Schebler's 30th homer of the year. 2-run home run makes it 4-2.
The 20th home run allowed by Zach Davies. There it is, that two-seam fastball that was on the inner half of the plate. Schebler looking in there, way back down the line and right.
(4-2) Milwaukee now. Nobody out. Bases empty. Davies starting all over with Duvall. Hits the edge with a strike, a fastball. Adam Duvall is hitting 7th in this lineup with 31 homers and 97 runs batted in. How many 7th place hitters can boast those numbers?
Right.
One of the 3 Reds with 30 homer seasons now.
Well, that just gives you an idea of what kind of offensive lineup this is. These guys can hit.
No balls, 2 strikes, and that's hit hard through for a base hit. So Duvall is on. Solid contact here, the last 2 hitters.
A little bit too much of the plate for Zach Davies. This is his 9th start career against the Reds. He's 2-3, but a good .345 ERA. 1-1 this year in 3 starts.
Still looking for his first out of the 2nd inning. 8th place hitter Tucker Barnhart coming up. Got the pitcher due up next. Barnhart just got a contract extension, well deserved. Excellent catcher for the Cincinnati Reds, a switch hitter. And he hits that one hard. That's trouble. That's going to get into the gap. Phillips able to cut it off. Duvall is going to be sent home. Arcia's got to play the throw to the plate. The tag. Did he get him? Yes, he did. He's out. Stephen Vogt with a catch and a tag all in one motion. And the Brewers execute the cutoff and relay to cut one down at the plate.
Man, not exactly sure why they sent him there. Now you're in the 2nd inning. There's nobody out. And Barnhart picking on the first pitch. He finds the gap, and look at Brett Phillips. Not only is he fast, but check out the arm into the infield. A perfect throw to Arcia. And how about the play by Vogt? Throw up the line, catches it, swipes the tag on the back. That's one heck of a play right there. Got him on the side.
Able to hang on to the baseball, which is not easy to do with a catcher's mitt. It'll go as a double. The putout goes 8-6-2. First out of the inning. Well, that could be a big one in this game.
I'm not sure why you send it with nobody out. There you go. Well, it's amazing that Vogt was able to hold on to that baseball. I mean, that was a pretty good collision right there. Duvall and glove.
So here is the pitcher, Deck McGuire. That is a foul ball. Billy Hatcher is the Reds' 3rd base coach, and he was deliberating right to the last moment. Looked like he wanted to put the stop sign up, but once he saw Phillips cut it off, if it goes to the wall, it's going to be an easy RBI.
You got 2 terrific throwing arms out there. You got Phillips and Arcia. Not a very good decision.
Bouncing ball off the glove of Davies, right to Arcia, and he'll make the play for the out. 2 gone in the inning. Barnhart on the play goes to 3rd.
And I watch Billy Hatcher. He's waving him around all the way. I think Duvall was surprised that he was being sent. And how about the play by Stephen Vogt? That's a heck of a play, keeping that ball in the glove. Never make the first out at home or 3rd.
Well, might help the Brewers get through this inning. That put out goes 1-6-3 on McGuire as Davies deflected it to Arcia. Top of the order now. Here is Billy Hamilton. Reds have been aggressive in the count with Davies. This time Hamilton takes a strike. Hamilton reached on an error in the 1st. And because the Reds were so aggressive in the count, he really didn't get a chance to run to try to steal 2nd. This is a guy the Brewers must keep off the base paths here today. He can terrorize catchers, especially Stephen Vogt, who does not throw all that well.
Well, he already did. I mean, he put so much pressure on you, knowing that he runs so fast. That's why, you know, Vogt bobbled that bunt. He knew that I better get this quickly and get it off to first base. That's why he committed the error. Pressure on the defense. That's what he does.
2 outs and a 2-1 count. Hamilton on the ground, got to hustle it up. Walker throws in time. Hamilton is retired, and the Brewers come out of that mess with only 2 runs in. Another outfield assist for Brett Phillips. Yesterday, makeup game Royals Yankees, and Aaron Judge, who has a chance at an MVP award in his rookie season in the American League with 50 homers on the year. He had 2 yesterday against Kansas City. A 50 homer season. He has broken Mark McGwire's rookie record for home runs in a year. That was McGwire with 49 back in 1987. And a record that held up for 30 years. Aaron Judge, one of the new faces of baseball, and Judge with a legitimate shot. For me, it probably comes down between Judge and Altuve of the Astros for the MVP.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting about that is this great game of baseball, the sizes and the shapes that people come in. How about the 5'6" Jose Altuve, make it 5'5" actually, and then the 6'7" Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
And 2 of the premier players in the game.
Rookie of the year, maybe MVP. That'd be a pretty good year.
Ichiro did that in his rookie year, but he had all of that experience in Japan. Would you be okay with a rookie as an MVP, the kind of numbers that Judge has put up?
No doubt. Why not?
Davies a strikeout victim to start the 2nd inning for the Brewers.
I saw Judge when the Brewers were in New York playing the Yankees right before the All-Star break. And Brewers handled him pretty well. He did hit a home run. Hit a home run off of Josh Hader. But that was it. Brewers took 2 out of 3 from the Yanks.
Home run derby champ Aaron Judge. And what a star he is blossomed into. There's Thames, a high fly ball that's going to stay in. He had a big swing at it, but just missed it on the bat. And 2 men are out. First 2 retired.
Just got under it.
Now the Brewers scored all 4 of their runs in the 1st inning with 2 outs. Santana hit a 2-strike, 2-out home run, a 3-run shot. Orlando Arcia had the other RBI, had a 2-out single that drove in Vogt. Brewers got 4 in the 1st. Reds Scott Schebler 2-run homer to cut into that deficit a little bit. And a guy making his first ever major league start here today, Deck McGuire. He's from Richmond, Virginia. McGuire is 28 years of age. It's been a long time coming for him to get a spot like this. High pitch count early, facing 8 batters in the first. Already at 48 pitches as he works here in the second inning. So this is going to be a short start for him. 2 balls and a strike on Walker. 3-1 now.
Try another changeup. Trying to work those pitches in. That's Tucker Barnhart forcing him to do it.
Good catcher behind the plate for the Reds. Good game caller, game planner. Always in the game. Brings a little offense to the picture as well. And he can throw extremely well.
This looks like a catcher, doesn't he? Tough.
Tucker Barnhart. And there's ball 4. So with 2 outs, the Brewers get another base runner. That is their 4th base runner with 2 outs already. And that is going to get Ryan Braun to the plate in the second inning.
Hey, we have a player ticket giveaway this year as a show of their appreciation for Brewers fans and their support this year. Ryan Braun, Corey Knebel, and Hernan Perez are going to buy 7,500 tickets to the Crew's regular season home finale. That's on Thursday. Be offered on a first-come, first-served basis starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. You can redeem up to 4 complimentary tickets for Thursday's game against these Reds. Go to brewers.com/players. Good job by the guys.
Yeah, I hope you'll make plans to be with us. Take advantage of those tickets. They go on sale or are made available early. They've been paid for, as Rock said. They will move very quickly, though, so make sure to snag your tickets right away. 9 a.m. Fan Appreciation Night tomorrow, presented by Chevrolet. Going to give away a 2018 Chevy Equinox. Somebody's going to drive home with a brand new vehicle tomorrow. That one is a strike to Braun. Got tickets up for grabs, food and beverage, vouchers.
Been a great season at the Turnstiles.
Yeah, no question.
Well done, Brewer fans.
It's not over yet, though. Tomorrow night and then Thursday afternoon to wrap up the regular season schedule. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Braun. Got a runner at first, Walker. And Braun in the air to center. That one got down on the label as well. And that will retire the side. A scoreless inning for Deck McGuire. Brewers lead 4-2. We head to the 3rd inning at Miller Park.
Opener against the Regs. Sophia Minner back here at Miller Park, joined now by former Buck Vin Baker, and good news, a new teammate of ours on Fox Sports Wisconsin. He's going to be our new full-time analyst for Bucks Live, both pre and post-game shows. And Vin, it's great to have you back here in Milwaukee. Just how excited are you to join our team and be back with the Bucks?
Well, I'm super excited to be back with Fox and be on full-time, and it's even more special that I'm coming on to a season that every Buck fan should be excited about. This is a great year for the Bucks, high expectations, so I'm looking forward to being a part of this wonderful season.
We were fortunate enough to have you on our regular season and playoff coverage last year. Great 6-game series against the Toronto Raptors. You said you were on the floor with the guys this morning for the first practice. Just what's your excitement for the upcoming season?
Well, they wore me out a little bit this morning. I didn't realize I was getting old like that, but I'm excited. We have a great group of guys. Obviously talent, starting with Giannis, but we have some high character kids. You know, Malcolm coming back after a Rookie of the Year campaign, Thon back, Chris is back. So it's going to be a lot of exciting games. I look for this team to get off into a great start with all the things going on in Cleveland and Boston. I look for Milwaukee to be right up there at the top.
So much conversation around the league, the Greek Freak, Giannis. Just where do you think he can take the biggest step forward next year?
Well, I think he can be the MVP of the league, and obviously a lot of that's predicated on how well the Bucks do. And I think the Bucks are poised as a team. They've been together for the last 3 years, and I think he's ready to be the MVP. Mentally, physically, he looks great in practice, and I think mentally he's ready to make that step. So I look for him to be in the running for the MVP.
So that's a big praise.
That's big praise, so he's got to back me up.
All right, well, thanks, Vin, for joining us here, and we're very excited to get the Bucs season underway. Media day yesterday. The guys on the court for their first practice this afternoon, so it'll be a great Bucs season coming up in just a few weeks, BA and Rock.
All right, thanks a lot. Good to see Vin Baker, 4-time NBA All-Star.
I got one question. I mean, Sophia and Vin Baker, they were looking eye to eye.
Yeah.
I mean, is Vin sitting down, or is Sophie up on a stepladder or something?
I think maybe she grew a little bit.
I mean, Vin Baker's 7 feet tall.
There, that's a better image.
There you go.
Yeah, just Sophia's, what, 5 foot, and Vin Baker's much taller than that.
Yeah, he was sitting down.
I believe Vin is, he's a 7-footer, maybe 6'11", right? Joey Votto draws a 1-out walk. And a man on here with one away for Scooter Gennett. Joey Votto leads the majors in walks. 131 now. Aaron Judge is second in the major leagues with 120. And now you're walking the tightrope with this Reds lineup. Scooter Gennett can tie this game quickly. Gennett flew out to center field in the first inning. Looks like Davies is fighting his command a little bit right now. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean you're walking batters. Sometimes you can lose command in the strike zone. And a couple of hard hit balls in that second inning. 3 in a row, as a matter of fact. Schebler, Duvall, and Barnhart all squaring up against Davies. They got him chasing that one. A little sinker away from Davies.
And a two-seam fastball from Zach Davies. Haven't seen too many of those comeback sinkers, two-seamers to a lefty yet. I think he tried to do it to Schebler, but he left it out over the plate.
Now when Davies is right, he's got that combo of the cutter and the comeback sinker to the lefties. That's a big curveball on the ground. Got a chance. Walker, Arcia, double play. Inning is over as Davies gets Gennett to bounce into the 4-6-3 double play. Brewers coming up, bottom of the third. Bottom of the third inning, the Brewers are coming up and a 4-2 lead, and we got a couple of special visitors in our booth. Our booth is full, and we got some big leaguers here, Rock. I mean, you're normally the big leaguer we get used to. We got Corbin Burns, we have Lewis Brinson, the minor league player of the year, minor league pitcher of the year. Welcome to the booth, fellas. Great to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You're familiar with our scene because you've been in the big leagues, Lewis, but our first chance to meet you, and Corbin, you guys, we'll start with you. You're the pitcher of the year in the minor leagues. You go through a season like that. Now you're done. You get a chance to evaluate what has happened. Here you are in a big league setting with a minor league pitcher of the year honor. Shaw singles into right field. Tell me how you think about your season now that it's over and you can kind of relax and enjoy what you've accomplished.
Yeah, it was pretty cool looking back. Thinking, it just felt like a couple weeks ago I was in spring training. First spring training coming out, and it was a good year from opening day all the way through. Had a good spring training and built off it throughout the year and was able to continue that success throughout the season.
When you come to a major league stadium like Miller Park, you're in this organization. Once you get to AA, right, you're knocking at the door. Like, it's close. How anxious are you to get through this offseason? And then I know the season just in, but to get to next season and maybe have a chance to get on this staff.
Yeah, no, very anxious. It's pretty cool when you're down AA, you see guys getting the call. You see, we saw Jorge Lopez and Taylor Williams during the season get the call to come up. So it's pretty cool knowing you're one phone call away, and hopefully it's me next year.
And Lewis, I know your story is fascinating to me because rarely do you have minor league players of the year that have been to the big leagues like you have. You got a great taste of the major leagues this season. There's a lot of guys that get sent down and struggle and don't have that same kind of fire, but you didn't. You performed very well, got yourself back to the big leagues. How do you analyze your season?
Right. Well, when I got sent down the first time, I was just trying to stay consistent. Just trying to build off what I was doing down there before I got called up. And, just the confidence of coming up to the big leagues and seeing these guys up here, and all these pitchers are great up here. So, just my confidence level was there going back to AAA, and, just to be in a familiar atmosphere. And like I said, I was just trying to stay consistent with my routine and everything that I had going on before I got called up.
How's the leg going? I mean, if you didn't hurt the leg, you'd be here right in the middle of this wild card race.
Thanks for reminding me.
No, but how's it going?
It's going good. It's going really well. The guys down there in Maryville are really getting me right. We're on a great regiment right now. We're right on track. It's feeling good. I'm ready to start running here soon. So, hopefully I can get it right and, come join these guys for a playoff run.
What did you find to be the biggest difference between AAA and the big leagues? I'm not talking about the money. I know the money's a lot better. But as far as competition, what do you find the biggest difference between the two?
Definitely in the big leagues, it's a lot more analyzed, obviously, with the cameras and, being on TV, and it's the big leagues. But, I think the biggest difference for me was pitchers are a lot more consistent, and you really don't have a break. Everybody 1 through 5, you bullpen, everybody throws hard, everybody throws 95 plus. Everybody's got that wipeout slider, that good curveball, good changeup, splitter, everything. So you never really get a break, like a day off or anything down there. Not saying AAA is a day off or anything, but definitely up here, you got to be a little bit more ready for everybody, because everybody's good. Incredible numbers for you, Corbin. I mean, that earned run average under 2. I mean, describe what kind of a pitcher you actually are. We haven't seen a lot of you, but we heard a lot about you, some good stuff. Kind of tell us what kind of pitcher you are.
Yeah, I like to get on the mound and attack hitters. I got a pretty good fastball, got a little cut to it. So I like to go after hitters early in the count and try to get ahead, and then get the off-speed stuff. The days I have the fastball command going, the slider's good. It's that's when pitching's fun. That's when you got everything going and you just cruise through the order. But I definitely like to go out and attack hitters early, try to be aggressive, and try to stay ahead of the count.
Visiting with the Brewers minor league player and pitcher of the year here, Lewis Brinson and Corbin Burns, as Stephen Vogt bats with 1 away. Corbin, we saw a little bit of that footage of you in Carolina. So you started the year in A-ball, ended up in AA. Similar question we had for him, but what about that jump for you? It's a crossroads year for a lot of guys to go from A-ball to AA. What were some of the differences for you?
Yeah, the biggest difference is the change in hitters. You're going from high A in Carolina to Biloxi. You see guys that 1 through basically 8, 9 in the order. You're getting guys that can hit the ball. So they have approached the plate. Everybody's a good hitter at that level. So you really got to be locked in on every pitch, and you gotta have your good game. If you make a mistake, you're gonna pay for it. So it was a pretty big jump, but was able to transition pretty smoothly.
You guys are part of collectively one of the best minor league farm systems in the game. Those who evaluate farm systems, who analyze farm systems, would say that the Brewers would be top 5, some even top 3, some even have it as the best. Are you aware of that? Do you sense that as players in the organization, and how does it show up for you? Like when you look around, because you've been a part of another farm system in the Texas Rangers, what do you see in the Brewers system that would allow you to agree with that?
I see a lot of talent. You know, being in spring training, getting sent back down to the minor league side, and just knowing all the guys that we already had, and just being around them and seeing them play. I mean, you got guys, you know, from low A all the way up to triple A. You know, our AAA team this year was stacked. We obviously had a great team, and, you know, everybody, you know, kind of pulled for each other. But going down to AA, you know, single A, high A, low A, you got guys that, you know, are pretty good prospects and, you know, are ranked in all the lists and stuff. So you got one sitting right next to me. You know, we got a bunch of pitchers, bunch of position players, a lot of athletic guys. And like everybody says, I mean, you know, this organization is definitely one of the top tier organization prospect-wise, and, you know, I can't wait to see what everybody brings to the table once they get called up.
Yeah, one of the things that was amazing about your season, you know, Lewis, was the fact that you have so many guys going up to the big leagues, then coming down. I think there might have been a trickle-down effect down in AA too, Corbin.
Yep.
But you guys continued to play good baseball. I mean, the chemistry seemed to be pretty good down there, didn't it?
Oh, 100%. You know, we had a lot of guys that hadn't played in the big leagues, but also a sprinkle of guys that have had that big league experience. But, you know, we just all pull for each other. We all went down there. We all went down there at the beginning of the year and said, you know, let's have fun. We know Colorado Springs, it's going to be cold at the beginning of the year, you know, but we knew we had a great team. And, you know, Sweetie's, you know, one of the best managers I've ever had coming up. You know, he's really routed us together down there. And, you know, it was just a fun team. Like I said, we just pulled for each other. We knew everybody was good. And, you know, at the same time, everybody had a great year.
Visiting with Lewis Brinson, Corbin Burns, the player and pitcher of the year in the Brewers minor league system. Did you get a little bit of the Crash Davis effect when you went back down? Does everybody want to know? There's a lot of guys who've been to the big leagues in AAA, but, you know, the questions come on the bus like, hey, man, what was that like?
A couple guys, yeah. You know, how'd you like it? You know, what was your experience? What'd you learn? You know, what's the difference? And, you know, like I told you guys before, you just don't get a break. You know, being as a hitter, pitchers are good up here. Everybody's good. Everybody throws hard. Everybody's got good stuff. But, you know, for a pitcher standpoint for Corbin, I think, you know, again, hitters are good. We got scouting reports up here, and, you know, you got scouting report, you got cameras at every angle. So, you know, there's a lot of aspects that, you know, can contribute to, you know, having success on the field. But at the same time, you know, going back down to AAA, I don't think, like I said, we had a good amount of guys that have been up to the big leagues before. But there was a sprinkle of guys that would ask me, you know, how is it? You know, how's the pitching? How's the flights? How's the food? All that stuff. And, you know, you tell them, you know, everything off the field is great, but at the same time, you know, it's still baseball.
Now, Corbin, what's in front of you? Off season, what do you do in the off season?
Yeah, just you know, staying at home, start my training here in a couple weeks, throw probably a month after that, and you know, just try to build off what I got this year, and hopefully come into spring training strong, and, you know, hopefully pitching here soon after that.
Take it easy through about Thanksgiving, and then start ramping it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'll start working out here in a couple weeks, and probably start throwing after Thanksgiving. That's when I'll start ramping up.
Much different story here for Lewis. As Arcia lines one to left field, that is down, base hit. Duvall playing very deep in left, and Arcia with a couple of hits tonight. First and second, 2 men out. Yeah, much different story here for Lewis. We were talking before the game, and I mean, there is a plan in place as much as you can share, but look, there's an opportunity maybe you could come back. The Brewers are trying to get you ready to the point where you could. So just explain what that means. You're in Arizona, you're trying to rehab the hamstring, and then there are instructional league games going on that you could get some at-bats, right?
Right. You know, like I said, with the hamstring, it's feeling good. I'm right on pace where I need to be right now. You know, I would love to come up here and contribute to a, you know, possible postseason team, postseason run. You know, really haven't shared anything with me. I got to get this thing healthy first. That's the #1 priority. And, you know, these guys are doing what they do up here. They're doing their thing. But like I said, I would love for an opportunity to come up here once I'm healthy, once I'm 100%. You know, once this thing is, you know, I'm fully healthy. Like I said, I would love the opportunity to come up here, and we'll see what happens.
There'll be an interesting follow. It also means that Lewis has to stay engaged in his current season, where Corbin's already ready for the offseason. Lewis is trying to get himself healed where he could contribute if need be. The Brewers would certainly like to have that option if they do make it into the postseason. Brett Phillips, big swing and a miss. We know Lewis is a mama's boy because we met his mother, and she's awesome. Tell me about your family a little bit, Corbin, and how excited they must be to have you win this award.
Yeah, they're excited. They're actually back behind us here. They've enjoyed the whole experience.
Was she the one taking shots over here?
Yeah, I'm sure she loves the picture. She's all over it. No, they're loving it. They're loving to get here and, you know, see the whole park, seeing everything. They're loving the experience just as much as I am.
That's great. Where's your hometown?
Bakersfield, California.
Yeah, Bakersfield. Got a connection with Matt Arnold. There they are up there somewhere. That's your mother?
Yeah.
Leaning over? Come on.
Yeah, they're
Lean
back
in,
there.
Mom. Come on in. Lean in a little bit.
She's shy now.
Yeah, they're back there waving.
It's all right. Great to be able to share that with your family, and what a special time for them as well to see their boys doing so well. As Phillips takes a ball inside. And how's your mother doing, Lewis? We had a lot of fun chatting with her, and what a great personality she is.
Oh, she's awesome. She's my rock, man. She's all I got, and she's doing good. She was very proud of me when I told her I got the Player of the Year. She was a little bit kind of not complacent, but she definitely expected it. You know, she expects nothing. She expects nothing but the best from me, and you know, she's happy for me. She's proud of me and everything. And you know, I wish she could be here. She's got work. You know, it's kind of a in and out kind of trip for me.
Yeah.
But she's watching right now. I hope she's listening. Hi, Mom. How you doing? I think she's watching the game.
Do you guys stick around a little bit, a couple days, or it's just in today? You know.
I think it's out tomorrow. Yeah, we're out tomorrow. Yep.
And you went on the field a little bit today, didn't you, Lewis?
Yep.
You were done, Corbin, so you didn't do that, but you threw a little. And
yep, I threw a little bit, hit a little bit. All part of my routine that the trainers down in Maryville have gave me when I came here. Hit a little bit off the tee, got some flips, did some overhand with DC down there, and threw a little bit out on the field, I think at like 120. So I'm getting there, man. You know, next step is running, and you know, we'll see how that goes, but everything's feeling good.
Lewis Brinson, Corbin Burns with us in the booth. Let's see if the Brewers can break through here with Phillips at the plate, one of Lewis's teammates this year at AAA. He had a great year, didn't he, Lewis?
Oh my God, that guy's unbelievable, man. I think it's the glasses. He's got these new glasses. He got those
the
in
rose-colored glasses.
Yeah. He, I mean, he was doing good before that, but he got the glasses and really turned it on. And you know, he's great, man. Personality, as you guys know. You know, personality's through the roof. That guy could, you know, put a light in anybody's eyes, you know, at any time, man. He can make anybody laugh.
Always shaking hands.
Oh, yeah.
Runners go. 3-2 is fouled away. Give us some baseball analysis on these glasses. What does it do for him? They're a little like rose.
Yeah.
It's a rose tint to them. What would it do?
He says it blocks out the shadows. So, like, during the day or, you know, right now, any, like, a shadow or anything, I think it helps him see clear. That's what he said. So I might need to get some glasses.
Well, if he thinks it does, then it does.
Hey, it's working
that's all
for
that
him.
matters. Corbin wears glasses.
Oh, yeah.
That's part of the look.
Oh, yeah. Hader's got some glasses, too.
3-2, and Phillips on the ground out to Jeanette. And away! And a run will score. Maybe two will score. Arce is around. He's in. On his way to third goes Phillips. He's in there.
Hey, Brett.
Wow. What a break for the Brewers on an error by Jeanette. 2 runs are in, and it's 6-2 Milwaukee.
Well, who'd have thought on that? I mean, Cincinnati, one of the better defensive teams in baseball. Boy, just 2 gift runs. Well, the advantage right there, guys, of putting the ball in play with 2 strikes. You never know what can happen. And just a terrible throw. And Joey Votto not able to get it. Nobody there to scoop it up in foul ground. Good hustle by Arce to score all the way from first base.
Wow. Ed Cedar had the windmill going. And 2 runs are in. The rare 3-base error. And now the Brewers up 6-2, knocking at the door with Davies at the plate.
I was looking at that replay. The throw didn't look all that bad, but he just put a little bit too much on it. What do you think? But
think Brett's hustle kind of got that.
Yeah,
got that
got
going.
on that slide, Lewis.
He almost came up
a little short right there.
Yeah, I'll get him later for that.
It's like the Michael Phelps routine. He's swimming at the end. I mean, you got to be going a little bit faster to make it all the way. I think
Well, those baggy jerseys slow you down on the slide.
Oh, is that what it was, Rock?
Yeah, that's what I used to say. It's like a lawn dart going
He's
in.
still huffing and puffing. He'll be ready to run on a wild pitch. And Davies. This will end the inning and will end our time together with the player of the year.
Thank you, guys.
The
Nice
pitcher
job,
of
guys.
the year,
Good
Lewis
job.
Brinson
Congratulations.
and Corbin Burns.
Thank
Great
you.
job, fellas.
Thank you,
And
guys.
hopefully we'll see you guys real soon. Maybe seeing you real soon.
Yeah, let's hope.
See you
Let's
guys.
hope.
They got their awards before the game, the Robin Yount Awards. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota, let's go places. Well, the Brewers able to steal a couple of runs on a three-base error by Scooter Gennett, the former Brewer. And it is a 6-2 game as we head to the fourth inning. What a great visit with Corbin and Lewis. I mean, these guys are not only are they striking physically, I mean, big guys that, well, we've certainly had a chance to be around Lewis earlier this year, but boy, every time I hear these guys speak and the way they control themselves. I mean, think about when you were from A ball to double A like Corbin did this year. Imagine where you were back then compared to where some of these
just
guys.
Like that. What are you kidding? What are you saying?
Right.
Come on.
It was a big swing and a miss by Suarez. Aren't they polished, though?
Yeah,
huh?
right. I mean, even the draft picks, you know, the first, second rounders come in here. I mean, it seems like they've been around here for a long time. But, yeah, I mean, class individuals on and off the field. See a lot of those guys, you know, in spring training. Say the right things. And they want to be here. They're hungry. And snappy dressers, too.
Yeah, no kidding. So swinging a foul out of play. Got to meet Corbin's parents back there, and always great to connect with the parents. How proud they must be. And Lewis has been to the big leagues and is going to have a long career in the big leagues. And Corbin is hoping to as well, and hoping now that he's had such great success at the AA level to get here next season. Bouncing ball to Arcia. And there is the first out of the inning. Suarez is retired. Think about Corbin Burns right now as the minor league pitcher of the year, pitching most of the year in AA. And then he looks at a guy like Brandon Woodruff, who was the minor league pitcher of the year last year, spent most of the year in AA. And then you can allow yourself to envision yourself on the big league mound. I mean, it's right there for him.
I mean, that's what motivates these guys down in the minor leagues. I mean, even as far down as 8-ball. I mean, you know, it kind of, you know, a guy from AAA gets called up, and then that's kind of a and affect it, ripple effect throughout the minor leagues. But yeah, I mean, you're a good player in this organization. You have an opportunity to get to the major leagues, even from Double-A. So you're saying you think I was a little rough around the edges back in those days?
I'm just
or
guessing.
Maybe even still rough around the edges. Is that what you're saying?
Still, based on where you are now compared to where you minus all those years.
I had a good array of Sanzabel pants back in those days.
It's a ground ball with the shift on. And a close play at first as Schebler beats it out.
Yeah.
Arcia was the one out in the grass.
Laid back on it a little bit. Well, laid back on a little bit, didn't give him his best throw, and Schebler able to beat it.
Well, bang bang play. Council wants to take a look at this.
Not sure there's enough there. If you're going to take a look at it, you think they're going to.
This falls under the whatever was called on the field might end up being what is ultimately settled on, because it doesn't look like enough there to overturn it. Council's not going to take that risk here in the fourth inning.
Yeah, that's when he got to charge a little bit and give off a pretty good throw to first. I think he miscalculated Schebler's speed down the line.
So that brings up Adam Duvall with a runner at first. What scares you about the Reds offense is that they are always, when they get men on base, they're always just right there for a big inning, for that crooked number, because of their home run power. It's no different than what the Brewers present offensively. There's a lot of strikeouts in there, but there are a lot of home runs, and now a base hit by Duvall. He's 2 for 2, and suddenly the Reds coming up with an inning here with 2 on and 1 away.
And little things turned into big things, and when you're trying to get into the postseason, can never take anything for granted.
So Tucker Barnhart at the plate. Got the pitcher spot due up next. Will probably mean a pinch hit appearance. Barnhart on the ground. Walker has 1 play. And a 4-3 put out. Both runners advance.
There's a good curveball right there. Surprising that Barnhart went after it.
And Brian Price, the Reds manager, will indeed go to his bench here in the 4th inning. So the start for Deck McGuire, his first big league start, is in the books. 3 innings, 6 runs, 4 earned, 6 strikeouts. And Jose Peraza will bat for Cincinnati with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 away. I'm sure he'll sleep well tonight. Now, after what I would imagine would be a sleepless night, knowing you're ready to make your first big league start. He showed pretty good stuff, though, this guy, Deck McGuire. More pitches than we thought he had. Been basically a 2-pitch pitcher as a reliever. There's a lot to like there.
Yeah, mixed in some curveballs. He struck Ryan Braun out on a curveball, and he got Shaw on a changeup. So yeah, I mean, mix it up a little bit more than he's accustomed to, and always good to get that first major league start out of the way.
Might be a late bloomer for the Reds. 1-1 to Peraza, and he pops it up. Routine out to Phillips, and Davies is going to get out of this inning. Well done. Reds strand a pair. Brewers lead 6-2. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Reds killer, Eric Thames. 10 home runs of his 31 this year. 10 of them against the Cincinnati Reds. He's got 10 homers and 17 RBIs and now a .346 batting average. Thames with a double tonight, scored a run in the first. And he is in the leadoff spot for Craig Counsell tonight, and he is set to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning. New pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds is Ariel Hernandez.
Yeah, he got called up in September. He was a September call-up, 4th different time he's been with the Reds this year. Yeah, last pitched on the 22nd against the Red Sox, 2 scoreless innings. And they say this guy is retired. The last 12 batters that he's faced, that covers 3 appearances. So he's been throwing the baseball pretty well.
And Thames drops one into left field. First ball swinging. Opposite field hit for Eric Thames.
Ended that stretch. 12 in a row. And a base hit for Thames. Boy, he swings the bat well against these guys, doesn't he?
Thames has really gotten it going here lately offensively. He's been driving in runs, delivering with runners in scoring position. Those are the updated numbers against Cincinnati. .352 batting average in 16 games. And those 10 homers. Nearly a third of his home runs this year against the same team.
An incredible start in the month of April. A lot of the damage coming against these Reds.
Little shallow fly ball. Duvall plays deep, able to run this one down for the out. Throw to first, not in time. Walker's retired. Reds like to put their outfielders near the warning track. They're trying to cut off extra base hits. Sometimes you can get flares like that to fall.
Just about every team does against Milwaukee. You see that more and more these days. The only guy that really doesn't, Billy Hamilton. He doesn't have to. He runs so fast. But still, he's relatively deep in center.
Runner at first, one away. Here is Ryan Braun. Brewers trying to keep the pressure on. 6-2 lead. They've out hit the Reds 7-5. A 4-run first inning. The big blow was a 3-run home run by Santana. Came with 2 outs and 2 strikes.
Yeah, all 6 runs have come with 2 outs today.
3 consecutive 2-out hits in the first inning. Santana with the homer, then Arcia had an RBI single, and then the 2 runs it scored in the third on an error that would have ended the inning. Scooter Gennett threw it away, a 3-base error that allowed 2 to come in.
And nobody backing up home plate. You had the pitcher going over toward first on the grounder to second. Barnhart had to stay home, and Arcia just kept running.
One ball, 1 strike to count. Braun at the plate, and he takes a ball low. Ariel Hernandez, second Reds pitcher tonight. And Braun takes a ball. 3-1 now to Ryan. Had a good chat with Ryan at the cage today. He is so excited to be part of this. So excited to be in a pennant race once again. And
been a while since he's taken a day off on a day that the Brewers had a game.
I asked him about that. I said, you must be feeling all right. He goes, you know, my body's a little banged up, but nothing out of the ordinary. Calf feels good. The calf strain that put him on the DL twice this year is really no longer something he thinks about. He said he had a diving catch in the Cubs series that jarred him up a little bit, kind of rattled the body, but he feels good. And he said, there's no reason not to be in the lineup right now. I feel great and excited to be part of this team. He was raving about the young guys the Brewers have and how much life they've infused.
Yeah, keep you young.
Runner goes, 3-2 pitch is outside, ball 4. Braun draws the walk. Brewers have runners at first and second with 1 away.
Yeah, he wants to be in the lineup, and they need him in the lineup, whether he gets hits or not. Hey, the most popular way to follow the postseason chase is with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and much more. Download MLB.com at Bat today.
Oh, checking the At Bat app. Colorado Rockies answer the Brewers' 4 spot in the first with a 4 spot of their own in the first inning. And they lead the Marlins 4-0 as they go to the second. Trevor Story hit a 3-run homer in that one. So that's what it looks like right now. Cardinals have a lead over the Cubs. 5-1 top of the third. Brewers are a game ahead in the loss column of the Cardinals. 1 game back in the loss column to the Rockies. NL playoff picture brought to you by UW Whitewater Athletics. You got to be a Marlins fan and a Cubs fan tonight, aside from being a Brewers fan. 0-2 the count. Shaw takes a ball away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That pitching matchup tonight in Colorado. Jose Urena for the Marlins, who made a start here against the Brewers. Tyler Anderson, the left-hander, is on the mound for Colorado. Shaw, little softly hit ground ball, and the throw to third for the force. Thames had to hold up, not knowing if it was going to be caught on the line, and that ends up as an easy out.
Yeah, kind of no man's land for Thames. Not much he could do. I guess he did the right thing. If he catches it and he takes off, it's a double play. Inning's over. Shaw gets jammed here. And Thames not sure it was going to be caught. Has to hold up, and an easy out at third base.
It's a 6-5 put out over at third base. And now first and second with 2 outs. Here is Santana. Delivered that 3-run home run in the first inning. It's that one sharply right at Suarez, who will go the easy way to win the inning. 6-2 Brew Crew. We are headed for the 5th.
Head to the 5th here at Miller Park. Scoops from the clubhouse brought to you by Car Soup. Manager Craig Counsell was hoping to get Manny Pena back in the lineup, but it is Stephen Boat behind home plate for the 4th straight game. Pena still dealing with a sprained left thumb, and just speaking to Pena before the game, he said it's still tough. He said he's having a hard time just dealing with the swelling in that thumb, and so he's hoping that he can get on the field and maybe try to play catch tomorrow to see how that thumb feels, just not showing as much progress as they would have hoped with the off day yesterday. So Counsell said they are hopeful they can still get him back in the mix, but they're working to see just how that's going to be possible here with just 6 games left.
All right, Sophia, thanks. That's a really tough blow for the Brewers. Pena was having such a great year. Brewers do have some coverage. They have Jet Bandy and Andrew Susac. If you do end up in the postseason, have to make a decision on who to go with there. It'd be highly unlikely that Vogt would be able to catch every day the rest of the year.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see where Counsell goes with that.
6 games in 6 days.
High fly ball into right center. Santana's got a long way to go. This is over his head. And Phillips will retrieve it. On his way to third goes Billy Hamilton with a leadoff triple.
Zach Davies has been on the ropes just about every inning except for the 3rd. Reds have put the pressure on him, but Davies has been able to limit him to only 2 runs. There's a breaking pitch. And Hamilton able to square it up. He left it up a little bit. And 1 hops the ball. If that ball stays in the ballpark, it's going to be a triple for sure with that guy running.
That's his 11th triple of the year. Only Charlie Blackmon of the Rockies has more. He is a pleasure to watch run. You don't want him to run, but when he does, it's something to see, huh? I mean, he is at full speed so fast.
Yeah, and turns the bases so sharp. I mean, he really doesn't take a whole lot of extra distance to go from home to third.
He is one of the fastest players to ever play the game. I can only think of one other player that would be as fast. That would be Deion Sanders in his time in the big leagues. They said Cool Papa Bell was so fast he could hit a line drive up the middle and the batted ball would hit him in the back when he slid into second base. And that's really fast.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
Cozart at the plate. Got a runner at third. And Davies missing away.
Put the light switch off and be in bed before it got dark.
Yeah, that's right. That's fast.
Yeah.
You got Hughes and Hader getting loose. Counsell will have a early pull here if necessary, because it doesn't look like Davies, who's actually gone through this with only 2 runs, but he has not been sharp tonight. As Rock mentioned, he's been in trouble just about every inning. There have been base runners in every inning. And now a walk. And suddenly Joey Votto is coming up with 2 men on and could get the Reds back in this one quickly with 1 swing of the bat.
Yes, second walk issued by Davies. He walked Votto back in the 3rd inning. He was wiped out with a double play ball. But yeah, it really has not been able to put the baseball where he wants it. He was so good against the Cubs his last time out. 7 innings, 2 runs in a no decision. Just struggling with his control a little bit tonight.
He's given up 6 hits. Davies issues his 2nd walk. And now Craig Counsell is on his way out. And I think he's going to make a move here. So Zach Davies, who has another start to make in the regular season.
Got Hader in the bullpen getting ready.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Davies is out. 4+ innings for the Brewers starter. Cannot win this game. But Craig Counsell is into his bullpen early. And with Votto coming up, Hader is coming in. Light, the original light beer. Well, the Brewers have put 6 runs on the board, but the heavy-hitting Cincinnati Reds have been knocking at the door, and now a major spot in this game is coming up, and we're only in the 5th. Davies is out. 4 innings plus 2 batters. A triple and a walk in this 5th inning. And with Joey Votto coming up, Craig Counsell not wasting any time. He'll bring on Josh Hader to face him.
Yeah, Hader's been outstanding. Last pitched on Friday against the Cubs. 2 1/3 scoreless innings. And he's got Votto and Jeanette coming up, a couple of left-handers.
Votto chokes up on the bat. That's when you know you have his attention, when he chokes up that much. And Hader certainly has his attention from a couple of matchups earlier this season.
Yeah, last 10 2/3 innings for Hader, he struck out 16 batters. And he's allowed only 3 hits.
Joey Votto is running away from home plate. Here's the thing about Joey Votto. He is in his own dimension, and there's something that Hader has done that has him trying to disrupt the rhythm a little bit of this matchup, which is a great sign for Josh Hader. He'd love to get a ground ball here. 1st and 3rd, and Votto is late. He fouls it back, and it's 0-2.
Well, Votto is 0 for 2 against Josh Hader with a couple of strikeouts. Could that have done it?
That might have had something to do with it. I'll never forget the first time Votto faced Hader. That's when we really knew that Hader was here to stay. First pitch went by, and Votto kind of stared out at him and then choked up on the bat and got into this stance he's in right now. Well, he's inching closer. That was right down the middle, and Votto was late on it.
Yep, and Votto knows he missed a pitch he should have hit.
Let's put it this way. Votto got into his buckle down stance after seeing 1 pitch from Hader.
Lefties don't seem to bother him too much.
From day one, he's hit lefties. He and Jay Bruce came up in the lineup every day, right-handed or left-handed, and they have been fantastic. Votto's an MVP candidate this year. Hader deals. Votto in the air to left field. That's deep enough to score Hamilton. Braun will make the catch. Votto is retired, and retreating to first base is Cozart.
Well, you take that any day. Votto up with nobody out.
Sac fly and an RBI for Joey Votto gives him 97 for the year.
Limit this inning to 1 run.
Votto was looking into the stands there, asking if everybody's okay. That was after a foul ball that he rifled into the seats. He got a thumbs up. So here's Jeanette. Got a runner at first now. Scooter against left-handed pitching this year is hitting .242. Not bad numbers for Jeanette. Overall is hitting .297. And Jeanette late fouls it away. That's the thing about it, Brock. It's just something about Hader. His delivery, the way he hides the ball. That's 92. That's manageable.
Yeah, that's why
everybody's late.
That's why Jeanette was able to get a piece of it. I mean, you throw it in that normal 96 range, and that's a swing and a miss. There are times when it doesn't have that big velocity.
No balls and a strike on Jeanette. And that one's lined right field line. That is a foul ball. Not by much.
On the slider that time.
That would have scored Cozart. But Jeanette just got a little bit ahead of it, and the count is 0-2 now.
And left-handers are hitting only .113 against Hader. 6 for 53. Left that slider middle in. That's not where you want to leave it. You're doing a left-hander a favor.
Ooh. Scary. Reds have a run in. It's a 3-run game. Votto with the sac fly. Hader trying to punch out Jeanette here. The 0-2 pitch, and down he goes.
That's better. Much better location, down and away.
Second out of the inning.
And the first one was inside. That one perfect, right on the outside corner, down at the knees. Way out in front.
You can see his entire back. And if you're a left-handed hitter, it looks like he's throwing it from second base almost. Hader deals to Suarez, misses away. Hader is so flexible, able to create that twist. It's like a pro golfer, you know, that twist, keep the hips in one place but then twist the upper body. Got to be a certain level of athlete to be able to pitch like this. Goes across his body.
Yeah, that torque.
Just that sling, and as it unravels, and hitters are just searching to try to find the release point.
He hides the baseball extremely well, slings it out of high 3/4, and very difficult to pick up early.
1 ball, 1 strike. It's a little changeup he's throwing there.
Looked like it.
Missed with it again. That's why the Brewers are considering Hader as a starter next year. He does have 4 pitches. He's got the 4-pitch mix, as they say. He's been so good in the bullpen, though, it's hard to imagine him anywhere else. You can use him in the 8th inning or the 9th inning, or pitch him here in the 5th inning.
And had the Brewers not had Hader out in that bullpen, I don't think Davies comes out of the game.
I'm with you. 2 balls and a strike on Suarez. Threw him another one.
Get this hard throwing lefty in a pivotal point in the game, even if it's the middle part of the game, to get Votto, Jeanette. He's been able to retire both of them. Makes a big difference. I mean, that's an impact guy coming out of your pen. There's that change up coming off, well located. He's thrown 2 of them in this at bat.
He's in the driver's seat now. He's gotten 2 strikes. With the change up. Hader can give you multiple innings.
2 1/3 his last time out. That was Friday against the Cubs.
Two pitch. Fastball right by him. Boy, set him up beautifully. Hader calms down the inning. A run does score. That belongs to Davies, but a sac fly and back-to-back punch-outs for Josh Hader. A little taste of the Haderade as we go to the bottom of the 5th. all-important game 1 of this 3-game series with Cincinnati. Guarantee your seat for the Bucs' 50th anniversary return to the Mecca game this fall. It's the 43-game Super Pass. Just visit foxsportswisconsin.com/upcoming events for details. Stephen Vogt will lead off for the Brewers. Bottom of the 5th inning. Brewers know they have to keep the pressure on offensively. But what a job Josh Hader does to get out of a little bit of a mess. 1st and 3rd with nobody out, and only 1 run scores.
Yeah, right through the middle of that order.
Final line on Davies: 4 innings plus 2 batters, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walks 2, no strikeouts.
That brings Davies to 191 in the 3rd innings. And before the short start tonight, he had a shot at 200 innings.
Yeah.
I mean, a real good shot.
He'll have another start against St. Louis. If he gets to 200 innings,
that'd be a
take
good
that
start.
result. That'll be a complete game.
That'd be a good start.
Like that one.
Yeah.
Vogt leading off takes a strike from Hernandez. Hernandez out for his 2nd inning of work. The starter, Deck McGuire, giving up 6 runs, 4 earned in 3 innings. And that one's down the left field line. That's going to fall. Base hit for Vogt. Over to cut it off, Duvall. Vogt's got to kick it into gear, and he's in with a double.
Hey, he's been running pretty good tonight. Couple of doubles. He's had to hustle for both of them.
Still wears that knee brace on his left knee, but he's 2 out of 3 with 2 hustle doubles in this one.
Yeah, 1 into center, 1 down the left field line this time. Hit it exactly where he had to. The big fastball, 98 miles an hour, and able to barrel it up. Rips it down the line, and well, the Brewers with a good start to the 5th.
I don't know if he's got a 5th gear, but he definitely kicked it into 4th gear.
Oh,
right
that
there.
was 5th gear.
That was it, huh?
That was it.
Here is Arcia now. Arcia's had a good night. Drove in a run with a single in the 1st. Had a single and a run scored in the 3rd. That RBI in the 1st inning came with 2 outs. He's driven in 50 now. Arcia is another guy like Thames that's had a great year against the Reds. He's hit for a .351 batting average against Cincinnati this season. And 3 of his 15 home runs have come against the Reds. 2 more hits tonight. And that one's in there. 1 and 2 the count.
Upper 90s with a fastball. That last slider at 87 miles an hour. He's got a good arm.
On the ground up the middle, and Cozart lays out. No play. Somehow Arcia put a bat on that ball. That was way inside. But he'll get an infield hit out of this, and his 3rd hit of the game. It's 1st and 3rd.
Remember that base hit he got in the 1st inning? I mean, he pulled the hands in and barreled it up and shot it out there into center field. Does the same thing here. Check this out. And breaking pitch, and that ball a good 4 inches off the inside corner. Watch the way he pulls the hands in and kind of just jumps a little bit. That scissor kick, and he's able to shoot it right back up the middle. And for the time being, Zach Cozart able to save a run, but you know, it's a pretty good piece of hitting by Arcia to get a bat on that.
1st and 3rd. Here is Brett Phillips. Brewers knocking at the door again. I like that scissor kick referenced from Arcia. He changes his position in the batter's box significantly by dropping that back foot. Somehow was able to hit that one with enough on it for the base hit.
Feet moving around, arms moving around, and still able to barrel it up and get a base hit. That's pretty good.
Well, here's a big spot for Phillips. Hitting in front of the pitcher spot. Counsell will certainly allow Hader to hit next. He's trying to get multiple innings out of Josh Hader. So this becomes a very big moment for the Brewers, trying to add to their 6-3 lead. Way outside. 2-1 to count.
Imperative, put the ball in play in this situation. You don't expect Hader to be able to put the ball in play. If you want to score this run without a base hit, this is the time.
Reds have their corner infielders in, and Phillips takes a strike. 2-2 now. Brett struck out in the first inning, and then he reached on that 3-base error in the third. That came with 2 outs. Jeanette threw it away, which allowed 2 runs to score. Took it from a 4-2 game to a 6-2 game. Reds have since added one. They got one in the top of this inning on a Joey Votto sac fly. Two-2 to Phillips. On the ground foul. We had Lewis Brinson here in the booth earlier, the Brewers minor league player of the year, and he pointed out that Phillips started wearing these rose-colored glasses that had, he thinks, helped his vision at the plate. He's been wearing them since he's come back to the big leagues, and he's been hitting. Arcia goes. Phillips in the air, left field. Duvall's got a great arm. Vogt is going to stop, and the throw comes all the way through.
Yeah, good thing.
Wise move by Ed Cedar. Still first and third. Now 1 away.
You don't have very good speed on the bases as far as Stephen Vogt anyway. You don't want to run on this Reds outfield. We're talking about Adam Duvall. He's got 15 outfield assists. That's first in all the baseball. Well, that's not a guy you want to challenge.
Brian Price on his way out. I don't know. He's not making a change here. I think he just wants to talk a little strategy with Hader coming to bat, likely to bunt. This is one of those situations, if you get a good bunt down, it is indefensible with a good bunt. You can get a run here. If nothing else, you can advance runners to second and third.
Yeah, and you got to consider, you know, Stephen Vogt, not the fastest guy in the world, so it's going to have to be a perfect bunt down the line somewhere.
We'll see what Hader's got. Hader has been hitting, or was hitting, as a starter at the AAA level. Vogt with a very short lead. Hader pops it up foul. There he goes. Arcia takes off, and Hader pops this one up. It's caught. Arcia's got to hurry back, and he is back. And Hader is retired. Now 2 men are out. F5, a foul pop on the putout.
Kind of a risky proposition, stealing a base and trying to drop down a bunt. If that bunt is in fair territory, it's probably a double play. Hader just not able to get it down. Good play by Suarez. Kind of a dangerous throw.
Yeah, it is. So it'll be up to Thames with 2 away. Brewers had runners at first and third with nobody out. Now 2 men are out. Thames, the leadoff hitter, is 2 out of 3 here tonight. There goes Arcia. The pitch is inside. Reds will just let him run. Stolen base number 14 for Arcia. 14 out of 20 this year. And a base hit could bring in 2 more. Two and 0 the count. Thames lays off. 3 balls, no strikes.
His patience took a little off of that pitch.
Well, you give him the green light here, partner?
You betcha. You're going to walk him.
Won't give him that chance. Intentional pass to bring Walker to the plate. Walker hit one of the most memorable grand slams of the season this season. An electrifying moment here at Miller Park against the Miami Marlins a couple of Fridays ago. Bases are loaded. 2 men are out. And Walker out in front of an off-speed pitch. He's had 3 in his career. One and one.
Couple of off-speed pitches to slow Walker down at the plate. And see if he challenges him with that big fastball.
Ariel Hernandez deals it. Walker in the air, left field. Duvall will make the catch to end the inning. Well, Brewers let a golden opportunity go by. First and third, nobody out. They come up empty. Strandham loaded.
Lead over the Reds as we head to the 6th, and the Brewers Community Foundation greatly appreciates the 2017 Leadership Council. This strong partnership continues to be impactful as they support quality nonprofits throughout the community. The Leadership Council members to be thanked are the BMO Harris Bank, Northwestern Mutual, We Energies, Johnson Controls, Harley Davidson, Lubar & Company, Delta Dental, Miller Coors, and West Bend Mutual. Thanks to all of those for serving on the Leadership Council and helping to support Brewers Community Foundation, all the great work that they do throughout the season.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Sophia. And say hello to Cecilia Gore and Katina Shaw. Saw them before the game tonight. Always good to see those two. They handle that Brewers Community Foundation so well. And thanks to all of our partners in that venture. Scott Schebler leads off for the Reds. Schebler, Duvall, then Barnhart. This will be the third lefty in a 4-batter stretch that Hader will face. Schebler, you might remember, reached on an infield hit his last time up. He pulled one. Brewers had a shift on, and after that first pitch ball, Craig Counsell has eliminated the shift. He's gone back to a more traditional,
interesting
setup defensively.
Not thinking that Schebler's going to be able to turn on the baseball against Hader. With a right-handed pitcher out there, a little bit different.
Hader came on, retired all 3 batters he faced. Puts that fastball by Schebler, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that fastball in like that. Good luck. Just don't want to make a mistake with that slider. You leave that up in the zone, you're doing that lefty a favor.
Vogt looks like he wants another one up and in. And Hader puts it right in the glove. A swing and a miss. Schebler strikes out. Hader with pinpoint command there. 3 consecutive punch-outs for Josh Hader.
Well, started him off with a breaking pitch and then 3 consecutive fastballs on the inside corner. That is just perfect location right there, up and in to a lefty on a 1-2 pitch. No chance. 93 miles an hour with that fastball.
Here's Adam Duvall now, who's 2 for 2 tonight. And on the first pitch, he pops it foul and out of play. Had him fooled on that off-speed pitch. Another changeup.
87. I mean, the longer this guy is out there talking about Hader, and the more confidence that he gets, the more you're going to see these off-speed pitches, especially when he doesn't have that monster fastball. You know, he's cruising around normally 96. He'll top 97, but right now a little bit lower than that. Using the breaking pitch a little bit more.
There's the fastball and called a strike. So now he's got the home plate umpire Bill Welke into strike mode as well, which never hurts. Quickly 0-2 on Duvall. Vogt wants another one up there.
It sounds more than 93, doesn't it?
It does. There's velocity and then there's actual velocity.
Yeah,
right?
then there's you know, what it looks like in the hitting zone. And that's the way he hides the baseball. That's what we're talking about, hitting speed.
See what he does here. 1-2. Got him. Hader took something off. And he strikes out Duvall.
Look out, he's starting to pitch.
Yeah, more than just throw, right? You're right. I mean, you can certainly envision a starting pitcher that would be one of the premier starters if he puts all this together.
Man, that's a changeup. That's just money. Down and away on the changeup. Look out. That is some big time stuff right there.
Two gone, and first ball swinging Barnhart. Braun is there, and Hader a 3-up, 3-down, 6 with a couple of strikeouts. Let's see if he's going back out for another one. Braun will bat. He'll lead off after this.
The showstopper in baseball tonight, Aaron Hicks just reinstated from the disabled list with an oblique injury, and what a way to reintroduce yourself to Yankees fans. This is the catch he made over the wall in right field at Yankee Stadium to rob Wilson Ramos of a grand slam in the first. Aaron Hicks having a career season, 13 home runs, 48 RBIs, and that glove, that will help the Yankees in the postseason. So Hicks back with the Yankees, and we move on to our T-Mobile deeper coverage of baseball. It was a big night at the plate for Andrew McCutchen as well. McCutchen at PNC Park with the Pirates hosting the Baltimore Orioles. He went 4 for 4, 2 home runs, including a grand slam, a career-high 8 RBIs in the game for McCutchen. And Bryce Harper back with the Nationals, back in the starting lineup tonight against the Phillies. He'd been out since the middle of August with a hyperextended knee. Drew a walk in his first at-bat, finished 0 for 2. Dusty Baker planning to use these final 6 games with Bryce Harper, kind of like spring training, to get him ready for the postseason. And for Harper, he had missed 42 games, but the Nationals did not miss a beat. They went 26-16 without him.
He'd be a strong MVP candidate had he not gotten hurt, Bryce Harper, and that is a huge bat and a huge presence that will return for the Nationals in the postseason. Luke Farrell is on the mound, the son of John Farrell, the manager of the Boston Red Sox. And first man up is Braun, bouncing ball to short. Out number 1.
Yeah, Luke Farrell was called up after AAA Louisville season ended. Second time he's been with the Reds. He made 20 starts down in the minor leagues. That was AAA. When it combined 8 and 6, a .478 earned run average for Luke Farrell. Last pitch on the 23rd against the Red Sox to a scoreless inning.
He's been with 3 organizations this year. He was with the Royals, made his big league debut with Kansas City. John Farrell actually got to attend that game. And then the Dodgers claimed him off waivers from the Royals, and then it was the Reds who claimed Farrell off waivers from the Dodgers in August. So he bounced around a little bit, but he's found himself in the big leagues. And his outing against the Red Sox while pitching for the Reds was pitching against his dad's team.
Pretty good work.
How cool is that, huh?
And a scoreless inning at that.
Now the one game with the Kansas City Royals, it was a doubleheader. He was the 26th man, got a chance to start that game. And then he's been in a relief role here for Cincinnati. He's pitching well, actually. Now in his 7th appearance.
And Joey Votto having a good time with the fans in the upper deck. Threw a baseball up there.
Travis Shaw, the 1-2 pitch down in the dirt.
Pretty good hook right there.
Yeah, I've seen Votto do that. It's a little easier shot in Cincinnati than it is here at Miller Park. But he's done that at Cincinnati, at Great American Ballpark.
He figures they don't get many opportunities to get baseballs up there.
Man of the people. Hard hit ball, but a man right there on the shift. Cozart puts Shaw away. 2 ground ball outs for Farrell. So 2 men gone. Here comes Domingo Santana now. Santana in the first inning, 3-2 pitch, 2 outs, launches number 29 out of here. Powerball home run count for Santana.
Oh, a huge home run right there on a full count, 2 outs. Brewers had an opportunity to get a big inning, almost lost it until Santana knocked one out of here.
Part of a 4-run first inning, all 4 of those runs coming with 2 away. Santana trying to join the 30 home run club for the Brewers. Brewers have not had 3 players hit 30 homers in a single season since the '82 Harvey's Wallbangers Brewers, and that was the only team that had 3 players with 30 or more. Gorman Thomas hit 39 that year. Ben Ogilvy hit 34. Cecil Cooper had 32 that season. Right now, Shaw and Thames have crossed over that 30 homer milestone. Santana will join him with one more.
You think about, that 82 team at County Stadium.
Yeah.
That is a tough ballpark to hit 30 home runs.
Well, that's why they called them the wall bangers, right?
Yeah. Just couldn't get it over that wall, right?
A swing and a miss. Santana strikes out. And Farrell with a 3-up, 3-down inning with a punch out. We go to the 7th inning at Miller Park. 6-3 Brew Crew. And he has featured a new wrinkle tonight here, partner.
Well, we've seen him throw a few changeups, but he really hasn't relied on that pitch a whole lot this year. But the amazing thing for me, not the fact he's just throwing them, look at the location of these changeups. I mean, every one of them in a perfect spot. He hasn't made a mistake with it. The last place you want to change up is inner half of the plate, upstairs. He has left all of them down in the zone and away to right-handed batters. You don't throw it, doesn't throw them to left-handed hitters. I think the fact that his velocity is down just a touch here tonight, and he's trying to figure out another way to get some outs, and it's been working for him.
He came on in a situation of 1st and 3rd and nobody out, was able to get through that mess and only allow the 1 run. Had a perfect inning last inning. 3-up, 3-down with 2 strikeouts. He has punched out 4 of the 6 batters he's faced. He's got Patrick Kiblahan leading off this 7th inning, a pinch hitter, and down he goes. Strikeout number 5 for Josh Hader.
Yep, and he did throw a changeup right before that fastball. That's what I'm talking about. That changeup, if hitters start, being aware of that pitch, it's even going to make the fastball even more effective. Go. I mean, you're talking, the fastballs haven't been all that big velocity tonight, but he is mixing it up a little bit better. Change-ups to right-handers, sliders to lefties. It's been an incredible process for him out of the bullpen, watching him evolve as he works through the season, getting more and more confident every time he goes out there.
Couple of misses on Billy Hamilton. Top of the Reds order. 6-3 Brewers here in the 7th. Hamilton with a triple his last time up. He scored the run in the 5th inning on the Votto sac fly. There's a wave and a miss. I think the Brewers have found a hole on Hamilton, up and away. And Hader's tried to put 3 right there. Hamilton finally bites on one.
Well, what you don't want to do against this guy, something off speed down the middle of the plate. That triple that he hit, back in the 6th inning or the 5th inning was a breaking ball down the middle. And it was up, and he was able to turn on it, rip it off the wall and right. Stay hard in on his hands. You have a pretty good chance of getting him out.
2-2 the count. Hader deals and Hamilton fouls it away. Got him. Fastball upstairs. Stayed with the game plan on Billy Hamilton, and Hader with his 6th strikeout.
Yeah, just incredible work by Hader once again. Hey, tonight's having the game winner, the Red Bar in St. Francis. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. That's April or May next year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Zach Cozart facing Josh Hader. There's another changeup. Cozart was out in front. Now the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Josh Hader has thrown 32 pitches in his 3 innings. 26 of them for strikes.
Amazing, isn't it?
Only 6 pitches out of the strike zone. Oh, 0-2 to Cozart. And Hader tries another high fastball.
Best fastball yet. 95.
Hader making his 34th appearance of the season. Hits are low, walks are low, bunch of strikeouts. 1-2 pitch. Fouls it back. Had a good cut at that one. The interesting question for Craig Counsell would be, if he retires Cozart, do you have Hader come back for a 4th inning with 2 left-handers coming up, Votto and Jeanette?
Yeah, right. But you have Swarzak and Knebel. I mean, what a bridge you have with Hader, right? You have the lead. You know, your starting pitcher is having a rough night. You take him out with nobody out in the 5th. He gives you 3 innings. And all of a sudden now you got a 3-run lead, assuming he gets through this inning. And now you got your setup man and your closer available. It's a nice luxury to have a guy like this.
It's a tough decision. 1 ball, 2 strikes a count, and he misses low with a change. The thinking might go something like this: you're going to lose him for 2 days anyway, most likely. Pitching in his 3rd inning, might as well, if he's feeling okay, bring him back out, let him face Votto and Jeanette. All depends, of course, on how the Brewers do offensively in the bottom of the inning. That's if he retires Cozart.
All right. Now the other thing is, I mean, he's already faced Votto and Jeanette already. I mean, normally Hader is not going to face a hitter in a lineup twice. It doesn't happen all that often. The way he pitches, the way Counsell has him, the way he uses him, actually.
First things first, he's got Cozart up there in a 3-2 count now. Hader from the stretch, and the payoff pitch is swung on and pulled foul. That's the other thing about Hader. He sometimes pitches from a windup, sometimes pitches from the stretch. And no real rhyme or reason. He has his own reasons, but it varies from game to game.
He's been pitching more out of the stretch than out of the windup lately.
9th pitch of the at-bat coming to Cozart. And Hader has him foul another one off. Do it again. Pitch number 10 of the at-bat, and Cozart in the air, deep left center field. Phillips is there, and it's gone. A home run. Cozart finally got him. On the 10th pitch of the at-bat, Cozart, who has a career high for homers with 24, makes it a 2-run game.
Well, he was timing out that fastball, and Hader left a couple of them about mid-thigh high out over the plate. And check it out. There it is, 93. And Cozart gives it a ride out there in the left center. And we got a 2-run game.
And here is Votto now. Fouls the first pitch off. Now the Reds won't go away. This ball club can really swing the bats. Brewers led 4-0. Then it was 4-2. Got 2 runs back on an error to make it 6-2. Now the Reds within 2 again. 6-4 Milwaukee. And Votto takes a ball. 2-1 to count. 3-1. That one's in there. Full count. This guy battles like nobody else.
He does every pitch.
Every at bat, every night. He's played them all this year. Joey Votto choking up on the bat. 3-2 pitch. Votto chased one upstairs. Votto leads the majors in walks, leads the majors in on base percentage at .452. If the Reds were in contention, he would be the MVP, I think. He's had a huge year. Full count. Hader deals it, and Votto takes ball 4.
Oh, that didn't miss by much. He acted like that was about a foot outside.
Well, Counsell running out to the mound. He's got a lefty coming up in Jeanette.
This will be his last hitter, I would imagine.
That's a pep talk by Craig Counsell. He is a one-way conversation,
saying,
trying to get him through this.
Give me one more out here.
You got a power hitter at the plate that could tie it up with one swing of the bat. Jeanette struck out against Hader in the 5th. There's a dangerous pitch coming right here. You know, Jeanette sitting down on the fastball. And it is a fastball. Lays out. Walker can't get it. Base hit, Jeanette. Man, that one turned quickly. Hader with the first 2 outs, and now 3 straight base runners for Cincinnati.
You got a right-hander coming up. There has been activity down in that bullpen. I would imagine that's going to be it for Hader.
No, you're looking at maybe a decision in the 8th. Now Counsell having to make a decision here in the 7th inning. It'll be a double switch. Hader runs out of gas. Cozart homers. Votto walks. Now Jeanette singles. And the Reds are a swing away from taking the lead here in the 7th inning. Pitching change coming. Hader goes 2 2/3 and will exit. To a screeching halt in the 7th inning. Still gives the Brewers 8 big outs. Goes 2 2/3, and the lone run was a Zach Cozart homer. That was a 10-pitch battle. Hader had him 0-2, and Cozart hung in there.
And just kept pumping in that fastball as Hernan Perez takes over in right field on a double switch. And Anthony Swarzak on the mound to get this final out in the 7th. 68th appearance for Swarzak, combined between Milwaukee and the White Sox. A 209 earned run average for Swarzak.
Brewers lead 6-4. Got to have them all at this point. Down a game in the loss column to the Rockies in the wild card race. 6 to play. Suarez at the plate, and the first pitch down and away from Swarzak. Rockies have a 4-0 lead at home against the Marlins. Actually, they've just scored again. It's 6-0 now. Bottom of the 5th inning. So the Rockies are rolling tonight. Suarez, little jam shot. Arcia can't get it. Base hit. Coming around is Votto. He'll score, and it's 6-5. Reds with 2 runs in the 7th inning with 2 outs, and it's a 1-run game.
Yeah, 2 outs, nobody on. Boy, Suarez got jammed. That was a slider, kind of a backup slider. Jams him, but able to muscle it out of the reach of Arcia, who was shaded in the hole. There's a case where the shift works against the Brewers, and now it's a 1-run game. Boy, 2 outs, nobody on. The Brewers cannot get this 3rd out.
Well, here comes Scott Schebler now, who's already hit a 2-run homer tonight. 2 on, 2 outs. Oh, big swing by Schebler. Cardinals maintaining a lead over the Cubs. Cubs had a little bit of a run last inning, but it's 5-3 St. Louis, bottom of the 5th in St. Louis. Cardinals are batting. Cardinals right behind the Brewers. Rockies just ahead of them. 0-2 the count on Schebler.
Working him upstairs.
Now, Hader struck him out with a high fastball in the 6th inning. Swarzak trying to end this 7th. 2 strike pitches fouled off. This Brewers bullpen has worked so much here down the stretch. You just wonder how much they have left.
Yeah, Swarzak's had a couple of days off. He last pitched on Saturday.
All of these games in the month of September, high stress. Feels like playoff games. 0-2 the count. 2 on for the Reds. Schebler swings and misses. Swarzak strikes him out to end the inning. Finally, but the Reds get 2 on 3 hits, and it's a 1-run game at Miller Park.
7:10 first pitch, and Thursday a 3:10 start. But tomorrow it's fan appreciation night presented by Chevrolet. There'll be sponsor prizes, giveaways throughout the game. One lucky fan will win a 2018 Chevy Equinox. So there will be a lot of fun giveaways tomorrow. And then Thursday afternoon, again, that's a 3:10 start. It will be Kids and Seniors Discount Day, meaning that you'll save 50% on tickets. There'll be a scratch-off card containing prizes such as tickets for next year, food, beverages, and game-used jerseys. So plenty of reasons for you guys to come out. There are tickets still available. They're starting at just $15. You can go to brewers.com to purchase tickets, or you can also call 414-902-4000.
All right, Sophia, thanks. A crowd of 30,079 announced here at Miller Park tonight on a Tuesday night. New pitcher is Wandy Peralta.
Pretty good season for Peralta. 67th appearance at 379 earned run average. Those appearances, you know, ranked second in this bullpen, only to Michael Lorenzen's. He's been out there more. One of 3 left-handers down in that Cincinnati bullpen tonight.
Brewers need to add on here. They've scored 6 on 9 hits, but the Reds are knocking at the door after a 2-run 7th. 1-run game now at the plate presented by Wendy's. You see what Vogt's done tonight. He's had a couple of doubles. And the lefty deals a strike to Vogt. Vogt, Arcia, and Phillips. Vogt and Phillips, the left-handed hitters in that group, to lead it off. Counsell just couldn't quite get Hader through that 7th. And Zach Cozart at bat changed the inning. Changes the complexion of the rest of this game. Reds get 2 runs on 3 hits with 2 outs. 3 hits and a walk with 2 outs in the 7th inning.
There's been a lot of runs scored with 2 outs tonight.
Yeah, all 6 of the Brewers' runs have scored with 2 outs. 2-2 the count on Stephen Vogt. Pops it up behind the home plate. That's in the seats. Wandy Peralta, left-hander out of Brian Price's bullpen. And Vogt turns him around. Base hit. That's going to get down into the corner. And Vogt scampering along to second base with his 3rd double of the night.
How about that? Well, he's hit doubles to all the fields tonight. Yeah, double to center, double to left, now 1 to right. Lefty versus lefty. Boy, Vogt's feeling it tonight. Yeah, pitch in on him. He's able to turn on it and rip it down the line. And there's that 5th gear you were talking about. Cruises on into second base, this time standing up.
So Vogt, a leadoff double, sets it up for Arcia, who is 3 for 3 tonight. Has his 11th 3-hit game of the year. Can he make it 4 for 4? Brewers lead by a run. Arcia takes a ball down and away.
Well, if nothing else, you got to figure out a way to get Vogt over to third base. So you got to be thinking hitting it to the right side,
which Arcia is very accomplished at doing. And he's trying to shoot one that way. A big cut at it.
So you have 2 strikes and try and drive it in that right center field gap. Don't give yourself up early in the count. Try and drive it out there.
One ball, 1 strike on Arcia. 2-1 now. Brewers had a great chance in the 5th inning. 1st and 3rd with nobody out. Vogt and Arcia started that inning. Eventually loaded him up and left him loaded. Reds just got 2 in the 7th. Arcia, a little chopper foul. Six hits out of the bottom of the Brewers lineup. 6 and 7 in the batting order. Arcia has never had a 4-hit game. This is his second year in the big leagues.
Guys at the bottom of the order getting the hits, the guys at the top of the order getting the walks.
2-2 the count. Remember, the Brewers are at the part of the order with the pitcher spot now occupied, the original pitcher spot now occupied by Hernan Perez. So they got position players lined up thanks to the double switch last inning. Perez hits in the 9-hole. Arcia on the ground. That'll get the job done. Cozart makes the play for the out, but Vogt advances. Runner at third with 1 away. Productive out for Arcia.
Craig Counsell going to the bench. He's going to call on his best pinch hitter. You see what Brian Price. Let's see what he does. He's got a right-hander getting loose in the pen.
And Aguilar is announced. Brian Price sending out his pitching coach. Mac Jenkins will perhaps bide a little time for the bullpen. They want to just talk strategy here with Aguilar. We'll see. The right-hander in the bullpen is Shackelford. That's the bench coach, Jim Riggleman.
You got Aguilar and then Hernan Perez, a couple of right-handers.
Aguilar's going to hit for Brett Phillips. And a discussion in that Reds dugout. See what they do here. Jesus Aguilar, he's been Counsell's top pinch hitter this year. Gets occasional starts with left-handed starters on the mound. And he is up there in a big spot with a runner at third. Reds are going to bring their infield halfway in. Takes a fairly deep fly ball to get Vogt home in this situation. Rock told you about the numbers for the Reds outfielders. They are among the best in outfield assists in the majors. Aguilar wave and a miss and a change of pace.
Aguilar hitting over 300 against lefties. He's never faced Peralta.
301 hitter against lefties. One of the reasons he's in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Able to lay off. Good take.
Couple of off-speed pitches.
Reds have the top 2 outfield assist players in the majors. Adam Duvall has 15, leads the major leagues in outfield assists. Billy Hamilton has 12. The center fielder. That one missed. 3 balls and a strike now.
Yeah, good take by Aguilar. You know he's aggressive up there. He wants to drive that run in, but those off-speed pitches taking a little off, just out of the zone.
Puts him in the driver's seat. Runner at third, 1 away. 6-5 Brew Crew here in the 7th. Aguilar takes a ball 4. First and third with 1 out now. And now decision time coming for Price.
Not so sure that wasn't by design. I mean, maybe, you know, throw him the off-speed stuff, see if he's going to chase. If you walk him, you set up the double play.
Broxton's going to pinch run for Aguilar. And will stay in the game to play center field. Aguilar with a pinch hit appearance, draws a walk, puts 2 on with 1 out, and Perez coming to the plate. First at bat for Hernan. Came in on a double switch last inning. Broxton is very fast. Good base stealer at first. And Perez had a good swing, fouls it back. Mad at himself for that one. Broxton has 20 stolen bases this season. He's made it into the 20-20 club. He's at 20 homers and now 20 steals.
Man, you know he'd love to be able to steal a base. You know, Peralta an average move, but we talked about Barnhart. He's a good throwing catcher.
No balls and a strike. And Harris showed bunt, takes a ball. Vogt does not run well at third base. Takes a fly ball deep enough to get him in, which would probably be medium deep. See if he shows bunt again. 1-1 and a swing and a deep fly ball to center field. Turning and running is Hamilton. That'll be plenty deep to get him in. Vogt cruises in to score the run, and the Brewers play a little small ball.
Yeah, well done, Hernan Perez.
7-5 Milwaukee as Arcia got him over. Perez gets him in, and the Badger Mutual Insurance run of the game.
Yep, double, get him over, get him in with a fly ball. Good job by Perez to get a bat on it. Didn't try and pull it. Had a pitch out away from him and hit it deep into center.
And now let's see if Thames can give the Brew Crew a 2-out strike here. Thames with 2 hits and a walk tonight. Eric's been staying right in there on left-handers lately, driving the ball to left field. Broxton sniffing that one out early. Might be a good chance to run here, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's his good move, because it doesn't look like a very good move. He's not fooling Broxton too much, but sometimes they save their best move for later on.
Playing possum with him, you think?
Yeah, maybe not.
He has a slide step that he uses, which would be more impactful for Broxton at this point. Keon trying to figure out how to get a good jump, maybe. Big swing by Thames, and it's 1-1. 2 schools of thought. One is you don't run with a power hitter at the plate. Gives you a chance to hit a 2-run homer. The other school of thought would be Thames has really been. There he goes, and the pitch is outside. Throw to second base is late. Broxton is in there. Went with the second school of thought. Now he's in scoring position for Thames.
Yeah, it makes a little bit more sense with a lefty out there on the mound. 21st bag for Broxton. Well, base hits and score a run. Pretty good throw by Barnhart. It bounces. I don't think it would have mattered. Goes on the first move. Another man in scoring position.
With 2 outs. 2-1 the count on Thames. Outside, ball 3. And the switch hitter Walker due up next. You figure Price would want to keep Walker as a right-handed batter if it gets to that point. Peralta's out there to stay. Here's the 3-1 and a swing and a miss. Pitch gets by. Broxton over to third base. And the count is 3-2 now on Eric Thames. Something's got him hurting at the plate. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe cramping or something with his calves. Yeah. Seized up for a minute. 3-2 the count. Dames takes a call at strike 3. Inning is over. Might have got a call there. Dames is hurting. He's struggling to walk back to the dugout. Stephen Vogt scores. Brewers lead 7-5. Comfortable. His legs are barking at him right now. As we go to the 8th inning, Brewers lead 7-5. Say leading into October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence. We support their vision of creating a world in which domestic violence is not tolerated and where victims and survivors are supported and empowered. Find out how you can join the conversation by visiting foxsportsupports.com. So Thames will continue. Keon Broxton stays in the game to play center. And Anthony Swarzak carries over into his 2nd inning of work. Adam Duvall leads off, takes strike 1. A little bit of breathing room for the Brewers after they get a run in the 7th. Sac fly and an RBI from Perez.
That was a nice inning offensively just to get that run in. Good job by Archie to hit that ball back through the middle to get Vogt to third base. Good situational hitting that inning by Milwaukee.
Little tapper foul. The Brewers are a game back in the loss column to the Rockies for the 2nd wild card spot. Colorado is steamrolling Miami tonight, 6-0, bottom of the 6th inning. Rockies got 4 in the 1st, just like the Brewers here tonight. Colorado has lost 8 of their last 12 games to give the Brewers a chance. 1-2 count, and that one just missed. That's what it looks like right now. Cardinals have a 6-3 lead over the Cubs. Cubs have a magic number of 1. And the Rockies batting in the bottom of the 6th inning up 6-0. 2-2 to Duvall. Got him. Swarzak strikes him out.
And went up the ladder. And missed with a slider. And then got him to chase the high fastball right at the top of the strike zone. Such an effective pitch. That big fastball up at the letters. And the ball swings right through it.
One away for Swarzak, who has 2 Ks now. Got the final out of the 7th. Facing Tucker Barnhart, the switch hitting catcher. One and one to count. There's that high fastball again. He's got that one dialed up, does Swarzak.
That's exactly where you want it, up and in. Got to be careful with the slider. You throw it, you got to get it down around the dirt, down around the shoot tops with 2 strikes.
See what he does. 1-2 pitch. Fastball fouled away. Barnhart's a pretty good hitter down in the bottom of their order. He's hit for a .270 average this year. Gets on base. .347 on base percentage. He's doubled tonight. He lined out facing Hader in the 6th inning. Swarzak trying to put him away here. Keep the tying run on deck. 2-strike pitch is down and in, not by much. Flirting with that strike zone. I think Swarzak wanted that call. Brewers bullpen is quiet for now. Swarzak being asked to give Counsell 4 outs. In the air, left field. Braun is there for the out. 2 gone now.
Yeah, good job. Another pitch up and jammed him. Barnhart gave it a pretty good ride, but Brewers had a man there.
Well, we'll do it all again tomorrow night. Brewers, Reds. How about Homer Bailey against Brandon Woodruff in our Miller Lite What's on Tap. 6:30 is airtime. And the rookie Woodruff out of Mississippi State will make the biggest start of his career.
That gave up 4 runs in 5 innings against the Cubs. A no decision.
Bailey pitched very well against the Brewers as part of that 3-game sweep in Cincinnati earlier in the month. Don't be fooled by the Homer Bailey numbers. The 6.96 ERA. He's had good success in singular games throughout his career against Milwaukee, and he's coming back from an injury. First pitch at 7:10. It'll be fan appreciation night tomorrow night. Somebody's going to drive out of here with a brand new car, a brand new Chevy. Drive it to the levee. Fly ball right field. That is up and gone. Another home run for the Reds. This time Jesse Winker, a pinch hitter in the 8th inning, and it is again a 1-run game.
Yep, he hung a slider. And Winker were able to get a bat on it, line drive out of here. They just won't go away. Well, we said when we came on the air, these guys can swing the bats. Left that slider up, middle in, and he hit it out of here.
Second pinch hit home run this year by Winker. And the screws are tightened up a little bit. 2-out home run. Reds got 2 runs with 2 outs last inning. And now to the top of the order in Billy Hamilton.
And the Brewers are going to have to go through Joey Votto, Jeanette again, Suarez.
Strike. Fastball. 0-2 the count. Jesse Winker. Pinch hit homer. Suarez trying to finish this inning off right now. 0-2 pitch. Bouncing ball. Arcia's got to hurry. Throw to first. In time for the out. Wow. Man, this guy can fly.
No room for error with that guy.
Arcia's big arm helped get him the out. Reds are going to take a look at this one. Nope, they're good. Play on, they say. No challenge. Inning is over. Reds get a homer from Winker, and it's a one-run game again.
For the Brew Crew right now, obviously in must-win mode. Everyone else winning right now as far as the playoff chase is concerned. These Reds team just won't go away, Augie.
I'll tell you, this is a good offensive ball club. The Brewers had a 6-2 lead after three innings, and these Reds came firing back. This is a good offensive ball club. I'll tell you what, there's still a lot of game left with that 9th inning coming up.
A lot of talking points we had starting to fizzle away, but the one we will have from the pregame show is the fact that we knew Cincinnati was going to score some runs against Milwaukee. Brewers doing the same, obviously, here. We're going to hear from Craig Counsell. Big night for Vogt at the plate as well. Let's see what the Brew Crew can do to hang on to this one-run lead.
And you got the big boys coming up in the 9th inning for the Reds as well. Cozart, Votto, Scooter Gennett will bat. Michael Lorenzen is on to pitch. Brewers will try to add on here. 7-6 lead, bottom 8, and Walker takes strike one from the hard-throwing Lorenzen.
Well, the Brewers have their 2-3 hitters coming up. 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up, and so do the Reds in the top of the 9th.
Walker has been on twice tonight. He walked his first 2 times up, and then a couple of fly ball outs to left. Santana hit a 3-run homer in the first. Arcia has 3 hits and an RBI. Stephen Vogt has 3 doubles in this game. First time he's ever done that in his career. And Walker is down on strikes.
It cars off that inside corner. Big fastball from Lorenzen.
That'll bring Ryan Braun to the plate with 1 away. Powerball home run leaderboard. Braun's on it. He's got 17. Despite missing so much time this year with the 2 trips to the disabled list. Braun tonight playing in game number 100 of the season. At 407 plate appearances. If you're healthy, you play a full season, you'll have over 600 plate appearances. 650, something like that.
Yeah, Joey Votto might have 700 this year.
Right. Yeah, he's played in every game. Look out. Close shave on Braun as that one goes to the screen. Hit the bull. One ball, one strike on Braun. 1-2 now. Last time the Brewers faced the Reds, they were swept in Cincinnati. Started with that Labor Day walk-off by Billy Hamilton. Called strike 3. 97 on the black. And Braun is rung up. Back-to-back Ks.
Yeah, 3 consecutive last 3 hitters for the Brewers, all caught looking. Well, Lorenzen, he's bringing it tonight, right on the edges as well.
Well, this speaks right to your point that we had when we hit the air today, and you're talking about the Reds, and I mean they've lost 90 games for a reason, but they have pockets of great talent, and one of those pockets is at the end of their bullpen with Lorenzen and Iglesias. It's a team you can ill afford to get behind on after 7 or 8 innings, because they have lockdown relievers. Chopper out to second base. Long run in for Jeanette, and Shaw is out. Well, here we go. Buckle up. Corey Knebel coming in. Brewers lead by a run in a must-win game tonight. The big boys for the Reds are coming up. Hope is alive in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Meaningful September baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin. It is presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. 7-6 Brewers. We head to the 9th inning. Brewers had a 6-2 lead at one point, but the Reds have been knocking at the door. Brewers have not trailed in this game. Counsell will tighten up his defense with Sogard in at second base. Put him in the 5 position in the batting order, just in case the Brewers have to hit again. Knebel's hoping that is not the case. The Brewer closer is on to work. He's got Cozart, Votto, and Jeanette to start it. Cozart had a key at bat in the 7th. 10-pitch battle with Josh Hader that resulted in a home run. Reds scored twice with 2 outs in that inning.
And the Reds have scored in each of the last 2 innings. Corey Knebel, last pitched on Friday, suffered his 4th loss of the season. Gave up 1 run in 2 innings of work.
1 ball, 1 strike on Cozart. In the air to center field, off the end of the bat. Broxton got a late break, and he makes the catch. Keon runs it down. That sprinter speed able to close the gap.
All right, how big is that catch right there with Votto coming up?
Had to freeze for a second. He wasn't sure how hard it was hit. You can see him playing deep. Went across for a step and then came in, and that closing speed able to make the catch.
There you go. Big out, first out of the inning.
And Knebel says thank you very much. Now Votto is up. Dangerous matchup here with Joey Votto at the plate. Not a whole lot of sample size of matchups between these two. Votto is 2 for 4 against Knebel. Votto is 0 for 2. Check it, 0 for 1. He's got 2 walks and a sac fly tonight. And Knebel's fallen behind him 3-0.
Hey, be careful here, 3-0. These kind of situations that Joey Votto will swing.
Jeanette on deck. 3 balls, no strikes. Votto swings, ground ball through, base hit. Tying run is on.
At least he kept it in the ballpark. 3-0 to Votto late in the game. Man, he's going to be aggressive.
There's not a tougher out in the big leagues right now than that guy, Joey Votto. He's going to be lifted for a pinch runner. So the Reds will send up Phillip Ervin carrying the tying run. It's a pinch run for Votto. And Scooter Gennett is coming up. Gennett had a costly error earlier in this game, led to 2 runs. Throwing error with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Big fastball and a big swing.
And Scooter Gennett's thinking, how did I not hit that? He was looking for the fastball. He got it, swung right through it.
Knebel doesn't get a lot of double play balls. He's a fly ball pitcher. Gennett has grounded into 14 double plays this season. Got a speedy runner at first. And Gennett takes a ball. Knebel throwing hard tonight. 98 consistently. He's hit 100 a number of occasions this year.
Hey, wonder if Irvin's going to try and steal a base.
Knebel has a very good move to first. Long pause. And Gennett takes a ball. Knebel hasn't been able to throw the curveball for a strike yet. Always a concern.
Threw one to Cozart out of the strike zone, and now to Gennett.
High stakes for the Brewers. Reds are free and easy at this point. 2 balls and a strike. Ervin, since he's been in the big leagues, has 3 steals. He's 3 for 4. Pinch running for Votto after a 1-out single on a 3-0 pitch. Big pitch. 2 balls and a strike. There he goes. Pitch is outside. Throw down to second base. Not in time. And the tying run in scoring position now.
And a 3-1 count.
Now you got to make a decision. Do you walk Gennett here to get a better matchup with the right-hander Suarez?
They have 2-1, a really good running count. He takes off on 2-1, and I tell you, Arcia does a pretty good job to keep this ball in the infield. That ball gets by him, and then he's at third base.
Brewers jumped out to a 4-0 lead in the first. At one point led 6-2. Now the Reds with a tying run at second. And Gennett late fouls it away. That was right in his wheelhouse. Corey Knebel has the good velocity going.
Now can he stick the curveball here?
sure there'd be nothing more that Scooter Gennett would love to do than try to take the Brewers out of a wild card chase. Brewers put him on waivers prior to the season. He's had a huge year. Payoff pitch, and down he goes. Fastball right by him. Gennett strikes out. Out number 2 here in the ninth.
Yeah, perfect pitch. Might have been off the corner, but maybe not. Pretty close. And Gennett just waves at this last fastball. Would have been marginal strike. Well, you can't do it any better than that. 98 right there.
Wow. 2 gone in the inning. Eugenio Suarez at the plate. Drove in a run with a single in the 7th. And Knebel with the fastball misses.
Anything on the ground, infield has to get dirty, keep it in there. Got to lay out, keep it in the infield.
Right by him. Nothing but fastballs from Knebel. The 2 curveballs he's thrown have been balls. He is sticking with the old country hardball here. 7-6. Brewers lead by a run. Their all-star closer on the mound. Tying run at second base. And the 1-1 swinging a foul. He was late. 99 with that heater.
Now throw the curveball up around the letters, maybe bounce. And bounce it in the dirt, get the fastball up, and we'll see.
Hitting started with a terrific running catch by Broxton to retire Cozart. Votto singled. Irvin runs for him. He's at second. Knebel with a K. 2-2 pitch. Suarez fouls it back.
Yeah, staying with the heater. Doesn't have enough confidence yet in that curveball. He hasn't been able to stick it for a strike.
All those fastballs in the upper reaches. Knebel trying to nail down the save. Would be his 38th. 2-2. Here it comes. And a high fly ball right field. Slicing. Perez is over. He's got it. And the game is over. In foul territory, Perez runs it down. And the Brewers win. And hope is still alive in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Well, kind of went the script, right? The Brewers got ahead early. Yeah, the Reds just keep hacking away, but Corey Knebel able to get the job done. Josh Hader with another outstanding effort. And Stephen Vogt with 3 doubles. They're the hitting star here tonight.
Corey Knebel with save number 38 on the year. They give the win to Josh Hader, who is now 2-3, and the Brewers get a big one. 7-6 the final. Milwaukee over Cincinnati. Now it's time for Brewers Live. Let's check in with Craig Kishon standing by down the right field line. Craig.
Okay, BA, the Brew Crew doing exactly what they had to do. Control your own business, win this game. They do that. We'll also check what is happening around the wild card as well. And here from Craig Counsell, this is Brewers Live presented by Ascension.